In the wild western wastelands of the Great White North, two gay lefty scumbags embark on an endless pursuit for the true meaning of wokeness. This is Woke in the West.
Hot enough for you?
Hot enough to go shirtless.
Yeah. Too hot for YouTube. Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, too hot for YouTube.
Damn.
That's because we're the hottest country in the world. Here in the West, the Woke in the West
wokest,
show.
hottest. Look at that.
We are back.
Hosts.
Yeah, we waited a little bit, mostly just to wrap up some of these like ongoing storylines, like the World Cup and Canada being on fire. But has much
as it
changed?
Always is every year.
Yeah, nothing much has changed in that regard. So I suppose we should just get right down to it.
Yeah, it's going to be extra sweaty because I decided to not have the fan going this episode because there was quite a bit of fan noise last episode.
Yeah,
but
sorry to headphone users.
the payoff is that you're going to see a very sweaty sheen on the both of us, especially me.
Yeah, and
throughout
for
the
me,
episode.
for our YouTube audience, you'll just see me shirtless, which
See
is
your
a-
hot titties.
a
Yeah,
view-
flash them hot titties to the
Wow.
camera. Woo!
Yeah, not many people get this view, so cherish it.
Well, what a story to start off with.
Some devastating news
Yeah.
for the local BC. Well, actually, many places across Canada are
Mhm.
impacted by this capitalist cutting of jobs.
Yep, from CBC News from July 7th. So this is a little old now, but it stands true. Rogers cuts 230 jobs, closes radio stations in Vancouver, Calgary, Halifax, and Kitchener. What a time for us to join Eurovision, huh? Perfect.
Well, this
timing.
is a private company. Rogers
Oh, I
killing
see.
their. It's the same as like when, what was it? The Iceberg Media killed the local newspapers, like the
Mhm,
Burnaby Now and the Tri-City News. It's just the capitalist companies looking at their like the bottom line, realizing they're not making as much money as they think they should be, and thinking, oh, let's just fire the community news station employees because that'll save us
Yeah,
what.
that'll do
That
it.
doesn't even seem like that big a cost-saving measure.
Mhm.
And I know you said that this is from a while ago, July 7th, but I'll have you know that one of the candidates running for council in one of the nearby cities to us, Coquitlam, just posted on Facebook like 2 days ago that he just noticed that that all the new stuff is
Wow.
closed. So even though it did happen like 10 or more days ago, people are still just discovering it because I don't know if people were daily listeners of these channels, but when you go to turn them on, they're just dead now.
Wow.
The big one for us in this area was News 1130.
Yep.
So there's going to be a list of the radio stations shortly.
A Rogers spokesperson told CBC News the shuttered stations have 80 people losing their jobs directly. The other 150 jobs involve corporate roles, including sales and marketing, along with a small number of positions in TV and radio, and an unspecified but small number from outside the media division as well.
The company said that they made the difficult but necessary decision following a thorough review of our radio stations across the country. And we are grateful to our listeners and to our team for their contributions to the local community.
Mm-hmm.
In Vancouver, the move means the end of Sportsnet 650 and News 1130, while in Alberta, 660 News Radio, Calgary, and Sportsnet 960 are affected.
Oh, a lot of AM radio programs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Listeners in Vancouver tuned in Tuesday morning to hear a recorded message on News 1130 and reruns on Sportsnet 650.
News Radio Halifax and News Radio Kitchener will also close. So like 80 people lost their jobs.
Damn.
That is like, again, is that a significant number to the bottom line of a giant media
Apparently it
conglomerate
is.
like
They
Rogers?
seem to think it is.
Yeah, they think it is. I mean, I think what they're doing is they're like making Canadians dislike Rogers more, but I know that we often joke that this country is 3 corporations in a trench coat. So if you're not going to spend your money with Rogers, then Bell or Telus is getting it, right? Or
Yeah.
Shaw.
News 1130 traffic reporter Alexander Kerrigan told CBC News that he learned of his station's closure as he was driving to work, and he heard the recorded message played on air.
Geez, is this a game studio
I'm
or
still
a
not
radio station?
I'm still not entirely sure how to process the news, he said. I know through working with the traffic center that we get dozens, if not hundreds of calls every single day. I know people relied specifically on the traffic service, of course, and there are a lot of very passionate news listeners as well.
And BC Premier David Eby responded to the closures on social media, saying that the province would miss both shuttered stations. Quote, "We all benefit from having local news outlets, and this is a blow for British Columbians."
Journalism is more important than profits. News poverty. That's a good term.
That's a
We're
good
gonna start
term.
using that.
The cutbacks are not a surprise for Jeffrey Dvorkin, a former director of journalism program at University of Toronto. Quote, I think what we're seeing now is media organizations looking for ways in which they can return to some kind of shareholder satisfaction.
Uh-huh.
What Rogers is doing is recognizing that they cannot make the same amount of money doing what they did before. And Rogers, in its statement, added that the decision was due to, quote, declining audience and revenue trends. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think the number of people listening to AM radio has gone up.
Yeah. It's kind of like the post office that we talked about earlier. It's like it's not supposed to really make money if it's like a traffic radio show or something. That's providing a service
before, for I don't know if the article is going to say when these stations came into existence, but like, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, it really was as simple as just getting a sponsorship from some schmuck with a used car dealership or something, and that was enough to keep the lights on for many months.
Yeah.
But now, with the diminishing returns, decreasing listeners, and everything being super expensive, capitalist companies like Rogers don't see any actual need to have or sustain these sorts of stations anymore, because people are just going to go to Google anyway.
Yeah, right.
There was a number up there I saw of the listeners.
2,100.
In both Vancouver and Calgary were low, with neither station having an average audience of more than 2,100 listeners.
Wow.
That is very low. Yeah, if y'all think that this is bad, give it a few months. I don't think Chorus Entertainment has much more in the tank. Based on what I'm seeing. It's going to be bad. Yeah. And the thing that I'm most concerned of is when these giant, Canadian specific media companies start failing, which they will, they're probably going to get bought up by Americans, by the American billionaires like the Ellisons and the folks who just took over Paramount and CNN. This is their goal, and that's why I am still upset that Carney removed the digital services tax, because this could have kept the lights on for these stations to get this money coming from getting returned to the country after being siphoned by Silicon Valley for so many years.
Yeah.
But because the government doesn't care, nobody does. In Vancouver, Rogers added that it would move radio production of Canucks games to another Rogers Sports and Media-owned station, and it will not be moving forward with any production of Calgary Flames games for the radio. Okay.
Wow.
Toronto Sportsnet 590 also remains in operation, and Rogers said it continues to operate 44 radio stations in close to 30 communities in Canada.
Wow. Wow. Well, rest in peace to those radio stations.
Yep.
I remember listening to News 1130.
My only memory
while my mom drove to work
was kind of just seeing their tents at Playland, the P&E. They'd always be advertising themselves. And, they got to keep up those public appearances. But we know that the financials are getting worse for all these sorts of companies across the board. The loss of our local papers, now the loss of this local news radio. And then coming soon, this is my prediction, Chorus Entertainment might not survive the year. So,
oh God.
So we'll see.
Speaking of losing jobs,
from a real news story to just a funny tweet.
From Harley Baghdad on Twitter. Maybe I'm stupid, but couldn't the government of Canada create thousands of jobs and save potentially thousands of lives by hiring a shitload of firefighters every summer to actually get our shit under control? Or are we just incapable of doing anything as a nation?
I did leave a comment on here.
Oh, you did? We are profoundly useless, sadly.
Yep. Canada is continually the creator of its own problems and its own unwillingness to actually step up and do anything. Much of the country is in flames right now.
Yep, as it is every summer.
Yeah. And we're going to keep talking about that because the Americans haven't been a big fan of it either.
No.
But here we have been clamoring for the civilian defense force that Carney promised on his election platform a year ago.
And that includes firefighting as well.
So, did he have time? Oh, here's a joke. Did he have time to forget about the civilian defense force after signing a $2 billion deal with the United States to buy tanks? This is what Carney is doing. Instead of actually employing and hiring Canadians, he's making deals with the American pigs to pay billions for more of their war machines.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's all about the defense spending, but didn't we already hit that target? Can we just fucking stop? Can we do something about the fires, please?
No.
No. And also
Okay.
maybe let's stop sending our firefighters to die in America when they're on fire. I don't care how friendly California acts to us. No more. If they're
No.
not helping us, then we are just done with them. We're done with America right now.
Carney's not, apparently.
No, he's super not. But yeah, so this is a quote tweet of a clip from a Carney speech where he says that taking care of the environment is just too expensive. And he said this
costly.
2 weeks before a viral video of a train going through an insane inferno in Ontario, which we will show after this clip.
Damn.
We can't afford to restrain the growth of an important part of our energy mix, oil and gas, to meet a short-term goal. I want to be clear on this point. The changes we have made will mean that our emissions will be higher in the next few years than they were projected to be under the previous government's plan. But in my judgment, that plan was not sustainable over the long term.
Let me be clear.
It would have been too expensive for Canadians who are already struggling with affordability. It would have let down our partners who need new sources of energy, and it would do so right at the time when we need them to help us become more independent of the United States.
Stupid. What do you mean? You
slimy
fucking
snake.
ghoul. Like, oh, they need new sources of energy. God forbid we diversify from fossil fuels and oil and gas, shoveling like freaking shovelfuls of coal.
The sun
into
is
the
right there.
furnace.
The sun is right there in the sky.
Solar, wind,
endless energy.
water,
Yeah.
geothermal. Have a fucking imagination, man. I'm almost like, because that stupid lady that got elected in Port Moody, Zoe Royer, kept during the election, she's like, I read Mark Carney's book. It's so good. I'm like low-key kind of tempted to read it now. I want to kind of know
You can go to the library and
what
check
kind
it
of
out.
snake oil crap he was spinning back before he ever had to be accountable to anyone.
Oh, I'm sure it's very well written.
I'm sure he talks about how important the environment is a lot. But now that he's the one in charge of the books, well, take a look at this video from Armstrong, Ontario. Yes, this is a CP rail train going through for our YouTube audience. This looks like an episode of Breaking Bad when they go to Mexico.
Yeah, right.
That's how orange it is.
They're
And
just
the
going
conductors
right through. They're just barreling through.
I'd heard that these two, the train conductors, might have gotten in trouble for this video because you're not allowed to use your phone in the car of the train. And I really hope that is not true, that they got in trouble, because this is a very important perspective.
They're stuck. They're stopped.
Yep. They ain't moving at all. They're just watching the fire.
Damn.
Yep. So for our YouTube audience, this is just the most orange video of all time
Very
that doesn't
orange.
feature the president of the United States.
God,
Yep. Canada's on fire, but don't worry about it because our military budget has finally hit 5%. And all it took was the burning down of all of our old growth forests. Wasn't it worth it? Wasn't it worth it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, it was not worth it. Carney, you better step up. Seriously.
Well, the United States doesn't seem to be taking the smoke from the forest fires up here very well.
No.
As you may have heard, Trump imposed a 50% tariff on us just because he doesn't like the smoke. Apparently.
He wants us to pay for the smoke. He's on video saying that, like, well, we should be compensated like a couple $1 billion
for the smoke.
And also, when he signed these tariffs, the new 50% tariff, he signed it with 3 different mechanisms.
Really?
So that if they get challenged in court, then the next one will just go up.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's like he created his own fail safes for bad policy. I believe that
it's kind of smart, actually.
I believe too that one of the policies that he put forward is tied to the Smoot-Hawley Act, which for historical buffs is the legislation that the Republicans, I believe it was Republicans, passed in 1927, which made the Depression happen. Woo! So hey, nothing better than using legislation that killed the country 100 years ago to kill it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they obviously, America thinks they can walk all over us. Trump walked away from Kuzma. That's another thing we didn't talk about because we haven't had an episode for a few weeks, but the deadline was July 1st, came and went. Trump said, no, thank you. I'm not going to sign the deal that I negotiated. So now we're just, hands up, like what's going on, waiting for anybody. And of course, the dishonest media are like, Canada should come to the table and play nice. It's not us. And EB knows that. So let's hear it from EB. This is from today, July 21st.
I feel sorry for Americans. If you can't be friends with Canada, then you almost certainly do not have a friend anywhere in the world. And that is a very lonely place to be.
Damn fucking
true.
right.
100%
Fuck
true.
those dumb American brain dead morons, mouth breathing idiots
Fucking Yanks.
with their veins full of lead from their old pipes.
I got something you can yank.
But seriously, Evie's right, and Americans need to hear it more often.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just that over 50% of Americans never leave their country during their entire life, or their home state for that matter, but they just need to realize that they are becoming the pariah of the world. If they thought that the global reputation for Israel and their open atrocities was bad, America is like... I've made the comparison so many times, you know, the Tates just got arrested, but America is like the Andrew Tate who just keeps like dancing around and is like, when will it be time to pay for your crimes? Throw these presidents in jail. God damn. Do we care about human rights?
No, obviously we don't.
No, we don't actually, because they get in the way of capitalism. And that's the only thing that keeps society afloat nowadays. Value, not family values. Just value.
Your worth.
What's a life worth? I bet Carney knows what a life is worth.
Mm-hmm. I think we talked about this story last episode a little bit about the indigenous drinking water.
I have this clip here because Leah Gazan was she's in Parliament right now, and she's the one who went viral some weeks ago for that ridiculous LGBT acronym. Do you remember that?
The
like with the
2S?
MM and all that stuff. That's just like throwing a bone for the right-wing people to hate. But I put this video in here because she is Indigenous, proud Lakota. It's in her name on Twitter /X, everything out. And she made a little video calling out Carney violating civil rights for Indigenous Canadians. So I thought it would be valuable to hear her
Let's take
perspective.
a little look at this.
Did you know the Carney Liberals government Bill C-37 violates international law surrounding First Nations clean drinking water? This includes the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Even though it mentions UNDRIP, it deliberately excludes Article 25 that protects Indigenous peoples' traditionally owned waters and coastal seas. Bill C-37 is a clear violation of Indigenous rights, and it must be significantly amended or else rejected altogether. To learn more about how you can push back against Bill C-37 and uphold the right to clean drinking water for all, follow the link in the description or in my profile bio. Let's join together to ensure that everyone across Canada has access to clean water.
Yeah.
I mean, she's right.
Good on her for fighting the good fight.
Yeah, I hope that people will care, but if we've learned anything during the course of this show, is that most people are ignorant and just simply do not care.
Yeah. Well, here's a little link that she's plugging.
Is this like something you can sign, or is this just like one of those letters?
Email your MP. Oh, there's a petition.
Ah, it is a petition. All right, everyone go sign at leahgazan.ca, the Protecting Water Rights for First Nations.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them that actually in Canada, we do care about human rights, and we do not want to continue the policy of genociding our native population by denying them water, which is the policy of the Canadian government. They still want to kill the natives. So
it's their policy right now.
I mean, I've
in the year of our Lord.
Yeah, in the year of our Lord 2026. You know that I've been encouraging Native Canadians to rise up against the government a little bit. Like if there ever was a time, you know, now would be a good time. Make them afraid again. Like seriously, the natives in this country should like rise up like the Irish did. Straight up. I am not joking.
We need our own troubles. Oh, as if you didn't know already how conservative the Liberal government currently is.
Yes.
This should convince you. From CTV News, July 7th. PM Carney poaches Conservative MP in latest batch of Senate appointments. Scraps nonpartisan criteria.
Yeah, so we don't need to go over every word of this article quite as intensely as the other one. I have quite a bit of it memorized from when I went over it. In case you were wondering, when the nonpartisan element to the Senate came in, it was under Justin. So it hasn't even been that long. It has not even been 10 years of a nonpartisan appointmentship in the Senate. But yeah, so Carney appointed a Conservative MP and a senior Liberal strategist. I don't really care about the Liberal strategist. The thing that's interesting is that the Conservative MP, Richard Martel, is someone who flipped a seat from the Liberals. Yeah, here's the thing in the article. Quebec MP was first elected in the riding of Le Fjord in 2018. In 2025, Martel narrowly won the riding with 34.1% of the vote, the Bloc and the Liberals following closely behind, each with 31%.
Woo.
So that is a very tight riding. And now that the Conservative, who was the incumbent, is no longer in that seat because he gets to serve a life appointment in the Senate, that seat could swing back towards the Liberals or the Bloc, depending on how things go, which just means a loss for the Conservatives. They are down yet another one. So, yeah, and I like the subheading here. Polyev boxed in over Martel move. He wasn't even notified, I believe, until like minutes before.
For Mr. Polyev, this stings. It stings because this is another MP that is now gone. He has lost 5 caucus members from the House of Commons since the general election, said Dimitris Soudas, former communications director to then Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Wow.
Yeah, according to Soudas, Polyev only learned of Martel's move minutes before the announcement.
Oh my God.
Quote from Soudas, which shows, in my view, that Mr. Martel, to put it simply, was fed up.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go. That's kind of all the important stuff for this. I just think that it's interesting. There's already like 5 or 6 by-elections that need to happen because multiple MPs are not sitting anymore. I don't even know if our like house is in session, right? I don't think so. I think they're all out for
summertime.
The summer. Yeah.
Summertime.
So yeah, I wonder when these by-elections will get called. The closest one to us is the one in North Van that I said in a previous episode that I would love for the new NDP leader to run in, which we don't have a story of our boy Avi Lewis this week, but know that he is repeating everything that basically we are saying here, that Carney is failing the environment, the country, the people. Yeah.
Speaking of switching parties.
And speaking of conservative failure.
Yeah.
After John Rustad bullied the living shit out of Amelia Boltby, forcing her to quit the Conservatives and sit the last few months as an independent in the BC legislature. Surprise! She put on some orange.
She decided to join the NDP of all parties.
Yes, from Global News. Former Conservative Party MLA Amelia Boltby announced that she is joining the BC NDP. She left the Conservative caucus in October of last year and has sat as an independent for almost a full year. As a fourth-generation Pentictonite, I got into politics because I wanted to serve my community, Boltby said on Friday. Yeah, it's sort of like how a lot of people switch to the Liberals, mostly because they wanted to have an opportunity to be on the power side of the dynamic. And if she knew she was like getting bullied by her quote-unquote supposed fellow party members, then she probably did make the right call.
Here's David Eby congratulating her in a tweet. Amelia showed real courage leaving the extreme BC Conservatives and since has been a fierce independent voice for her constituents. Today, she's joining our BC NDP team, where we're focused on healthcare, housing costs, and getting big projects built.
Oh, actually, I don't even know if Rustad is the leader of the Conservatives anymore. Is it that crazy Trump lady?
That's the local
Carrie
BC
Findlay.
I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, so she's the new leader, and as far as I know, she was part of the reason, too.
Then BC leader. Yeah, when Boltby left the BC Conservative Party, she said she made her decision based on the actions of then BC Conservative leader John Rustad.
Rustad had previously kicked out 2 of his MLAs, Dallas Brody and Eleanor Sturko, while 2 others, Tara Armstrong and Jordan Keeley, quit the party. When asked about crossing the floor, Premier Eby said he thinks it's important for people to remember that Boltby was not a BC Conservative for very long.
She quickly spoke out about some of the concerns she had and what she saw in the BC Conservative Party, and has sat as an independent for the last little while, said Eby.
Yeah, I actually like that she sat as an independent for almost a full year, because then she literally got to experience being politically homeless for like a full year.
Yeah. No party to call her own.
Yeah,
but she decided to make the right choice and joined the good party.
Joined the side of power anyway. And yes, the BC NDP is better in a lot of ways than the Conservatives, but they do still have their issues, and Eby needs to cool it on the logging of the old growth forests before the NDP get their asses handed to them in the next provincial election.
I mean, the Conservatives are going to keep doing that too.
No, I know. That's why the Greens have to sweep in. Let's go Greens. That new young lady, Emily Gowan or whatever, I forget her name, but she's a new like young leader of the BC Greens. So yeah, I'm hoping that she will do a good job. Anyway, back to Carney and misappropriated what would be a good term for this? Just bastardized time of the prime minister spent
Yeah.
glazing a war hawk from the
Glazing
United
a U.S.
States
senator? Why?
because he was such a sweetheart and a friend to Canada.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Senator
for those-
Lindsey Graham
for those
is
who
dead.
didn't know, this is still the Canada section, but Lindsey Graham is dead, and he's not making a new.
R.I.P. Lady G.
Yeah, rest in piss. He won't be making a news story of his own in the show. So
No.
this is the one mention that this closeted homosexual man gets. And apparently Mark
Senator
Carney thought that he
Graham.
was such a friend to our country, the country that is currently the subject of multiple attacks and threats of annexation by the U.S. administration, which Lindsey Graham supported
Yeah.
full-heartedly.
He decided to shard out a little tweet here. Senator Lindsey Graham dedicated his life to serving the people of South Carolina and the United States. So why are you talking about him? Anyway, throughout his career, he stood resolutely in defense of democracy and freedom. Ha, what a joke. Most recently and particularly with Ukraine and its people. But don't ask his opinion on Israel. Well, I guess you can't
Yeah,
anymore.
No, you can't.
I offer my condolences to Senator Graham's family, friends, and all those who served alongside him.
The top comment reply, he dedicated his life to hurting others. And that almost ratios this post.
He supported annexing Canada, you ghoul. But then again, maybe you support Trump conquering us too, given your actions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I believe that, but maybe 1% of my brain is like, yeah, Carney is definitely in bed with the big rich boys of the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham was a pig and he died as he lived up in shit.
Yeah. I'm just sad he never really tackled his homosexual feelings.
I
Never got to
know.
process them.
And like Lindsey Graham had literally won his re-election bid to be the nominee for the Republicans like a month ago.
Yeah.
And he just drops dead. And in case you're wondering, the follow-up is that the South Carolina governor gets to appoint someone to serve the remainder of his term before the election. His sister has been chosen. Does she have political experience? No. So when people tell you you need experience before you can get into office, that is a lie to keep out people who actually are ambitious enough to not be blinded by this bullshit need to like, oh, I have all these degrees or whatever. I don't think Lindsey Graham was a decorated, educated person either from South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah, like give me a break. And also his sister is now announced her intention to seek the next term.
Yeah.
As South Carolina senator.
I think he just got as far as he did because of his dick sucking lips.
I think so too.
Yeah. Sucks a mean dick.
Allegedly,
Not
Hunter
no
Biden
more.
is saying he's going to expose the network of gay Republicans, and he included, of course, Lindsey Graham.
Lady G.
All the NDAs are coming up now because he's dead.
And of course, you hear people being like, "Oh, you shouldn't out gay people, even if they're evil Republicans." I mean, if they're using their political power to make the lives of their own kind more difficult, then I think we absolutely should out
their
them.
own kind.
Absolutely.
But the fact is that there were a number of policies that Lindsey Graham specifically supported that should not have allowed him to live in peace.
Mhm.
Period. He was a war hawk. He wanted to glass Gaza. He wanted to keep up fighting in the Middle East no matter what. The only, if you can call it a good thing, is what Carney highlights as his support for Ukraine. But again, it's just the war machine.
It's just because he didn't like
all
Russia.
It is.
Yeah. He continued to dismantle gay rights while simultaneously getting whipped by twinks in lingerie, allegedly.
I won't even say allegedly, because who's still around to sue you?
Yeah. All right.
Confirmed, actually.
All right. Rest in peace.
Rest in
Lady
piss,
G.
and fuck you, Mark Carney, for
Yeah.
making such a pathetic, stupid statement about a guy who literally wanted to take us over.
You said there have been a lot of updates regarding this story.
Yeah, so in the last couple weeks, because of all this Kuzma talk and the trade barriers and yada yada, more Americans have been crying and bitching and pissing and shitting themselves about Canada's abstinence from American alcohol than ever before. This article on screen from the Sacramento Bee is just specifically talking about California asking just Quebec to return U.S. wine amid their industry struggles. And I remember reading the article where it was like, you shouldn't be denying Quebecers access to the world's greatest wine. Yeah, I mean, the greatest winers are definitely the ones in America. I agree with that.
Calling California wine the greatest is a joke.
Yeah. like the world's best. But there's been a number of developments on this. There's a Republican member of the House put forward a bill called the Canada Act, CANE, and it's something like, is like our allies, like defending our allies or defending domestic booze from ally aggression. Like that's the acronym that they put together. It is complete horse shit, and also it is hurting American alcohol industry across the board for us to keep up the boycott. And guess what? We are keeping up the boycott. Even dipshit Doug Ford in Ontario is still holding the line. Every province is doing this except for like Saskatchewan, I think, and Alberta. But come on, we are not going to kowtow or bow down to any demands from the terrorists on our southern border who do not respect laws and do not respect previously established trade negotiations. So actually, no. Sorry, I don't care how many millions of voters in California vote Democrat every time. It doesn't matter because federally, your country is threatening us with annexation, threatening our industry, and blanket tariffing us. So if you really want to get Canada back on your side, then clearly you have to take this argument to the White House in DC, because we are not listening.
Yeah,
we do not care, and we are not humoring you.
Damn, couldn't have said it better myself.
We
don't even really need to open this article.
No, that's it, really, because it's just every little state, all these states. It's been mostly California and Maine that are the ones begging the most. But like, literally, who cares? I don't care. You don't care.
I don't fucking care. I don't even drink wine. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we don't need bourbon.
Just give me a burr. All right, we got a little Israel Palestine
Canada foreign relations
yeah,
section.
Yeah.
So it starts first with this tweet, a quote from the Canadians for Justice and Peace in the Middle East, saying Canada's foreign minister at Anita Anand once again says that the, quote, original attacks on Iran by the U.S. and Israel, quote, look to be a prima facie violation of international law. This is baffling because Canada immediately supported those illegal attacks, never retracted their support, and recently said the war was, quote, worth it.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a Carney viral moment. We don't have the clip here, I don't think, but
we talked about it.
You can find it. Now Anand tells us to ignore these past war crimes and focus on supporting the recently renewed U.S. attacks on Iran, which Carney said yesterday were appropriate. Canada should be a force for de-escalation and a permanent ceasefire, not serving as a cheerleader for war criminals. Yeah. So Anita Anand continues to be a Nazi,
like backsliding,
and a Nazi apologist.
Yeah.
So deeply evil and pathetic. I just hate looking at her fucking genocidal face.
It's like elbows up backsliding.
It is absolutely elbows up backsliding. And that speech that he gave about fighting the U.S. hedge money,
the sign in the window speech.
Oh my God.
It was so for naught. It was such a good speech. It was like worthy of the history books, but like
that's what his wife said.
But like it's not. It rings so hollow.
You have to,
because he's not following through
your actions.
Yeah.
You have to actually follow through with the things that you say. You cannot just bluster constantly, Carney.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. We are not an example of like what to do. We are just like we've been like pantsed by the U.S. 80 years ago, and we've just been following them ever since. It's so pathetic. Can we do something? We claim to care about human rights, yet we deny our natives access to clean drinking water, which is a human right, and back up the terrorists in American government.
Yep.
So what the fuck is going on?
What are we even doing here, man? Here was we got another foreign relations article here from CTV News from June 29th. Heritage Minister says Palestinian exhibit at the Heritage Museum should be rectified.
So discard that headline because the minister, Mark Miller, is a Zionist hog who is openly paid and shilled for Israel. He's just the guy sitting in government right now that's like, oh my God, the Canadian Human Rights Museum is talking about the currently biggest violation of human rights on the planet. How could they? And that's basically about it. A lot of Zionist hogs have been crying about the Palestinian display at the Human Rights Museum. But frankly, they are doing what needs to be done in showcasing the atrocities to a new generation of Canadians that don't know about it. The display is about the Nakba, for fuck's sake. 1948's expulsion of the Palestinian people, which is in UN documentation, something that the Israeli state signed an agreement that all those people could come back and would be compensated for their homes, and that has not happened.
Never happened.
So Mark
No.
Miller, fuck you, and maybe read a history book.
I like this. The museum says it will provide a comment, but has yet done so. They're not even saying anything. They're like,
They don't need to. There's no reason to.
He was troubled by how the exhibit portrayed the conflict that started in October 2023. Bullshit! Didn't start here. It's been going on for like
I'm
60
so
years.
Sick of that line.
Yeah, all these tired old talking points that are easily disproven.
Yeah, fuck Mark Miller. I hope he's listening to this. Another bad quote from Carney. So this was from his visit to BC. This was also basically just after the last episode came out. So we're like, oh, let's wait and see what happens.
This is like a 5-minute clip.
This is too long of a clip, but it's mostly the quote that's just here on the Reddit. Because Carney met with Eby, and it seems like their master plan to help Canadians is to, let me get this right, repurpose tax dollars to bail out condo builders who built unlivable boxes all over Vancouver and BC, and just give them free money.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe repurpose them into government rental housing, low income, something like that. But maybe we shouldn't be using tax money to bail out developers. Maybe we should wait for them to go fucking bankrupt. And then the government can step in.
He says,
the quote?
I don't think we've done a particularly good job of rolling this out, explaining what this is. Sorry, guys, we kind of fucked up and didn't tell you properly.
He also said BC came up with the idea.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't me. BC did it.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
to
me.
quote, no developer asked for
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
The comments are pretty good, too, I'm pretty sure. Developers don't sell at a loss, Mark Carney. Carney wants us, the taxpayer, to take that loss and become the bag holders. No thanks, Mark.
At 32 seconds, he says, no developer asked for this directly. Means that nobody told him to his face, but would have come through the coterie. If this is not a bailout, I don't know what is. I've never seen that word before. Coterie. Coterie?
I don't know. What does it mean? You could search it. An intimate and often exclusive group of persons with a unifying common interest or purpose. I have not heard that before.
His coterie of billionaires, I guess is what they're saying.
It's just exhausting. It's just more wealth transfer and more failure to provide the housing that I thought you were going to provide, Carney.
Yep. Speaking of housing, PM launches design and build competition to rehabilitate 24 Sussex Drive. He's turning it into like a competition?
Yes.
Like a reality game show kind of thing? He wants
different companies to submit their bids publicly, I believe.
Pimp the PM house!
Yeah, but it's just, I've spoken extensively on how I feel regarding 24 Sussex Drive.
It is in a state of disrepair and does need to be fixed.
Should just be made a museum.
We're going to make a reality TV show out of it. Whoa!
Yeah, wacky.
That's been 11 years since the last prime minister lived there.
Sheesh. The competition will be open to all Canadian firms.
Firms. Oh. Private companies.
Yes.
That's
all Carney cares about.
We're calling for proposals that are ambitious, achievable, and cost-effective, the prime minister said.
Oh my God. So much.
They're just going to put a fresh coat of paint on that.
Literally. Maybe
plug up all the rat holes with the scratchy foil, the steel wool. Yeah, that's what it is. By Canadians for Canadians.
I'm so sick of this.
Unless an American company gets.
It's just like when he told Canadians that they could invest in our fund. Oh, it's just like Norway. Oh, who's going to pay for the repair of 24 Sussex Drives? Oh, Canadians will. We are so tired of paying for everything and generating all the value that the government takes advantage of.
The government says to minimize the cost, the Rideau Hall Foundation will lead a national, nonpartisan fundraising campaign to raise all or more the cost of this project. Donate today to have the Prime Minister's residence refurbished.
How long is it going to take until Sarah McLachlan gets wheeled out by the government to, tell us how sad and desperate they are for money with, instead of the sad puppies of the SPCA
Fix
ads?
the house of the PM.
Yeah.
It's inside.
Sad pictures of Mark Carney giving, puppy eyes.
There is no one of the screenshots you would use
on how much the plan to rehabilitate or modernize Sussex
they don't even know.
Nope.
They don't even
Carney
have a quote.
said the cabinet had seen, quote, various costings for various options for the official. So you already got multiple quotes, but none of them were good enough for you. So you're just opening it up to submissions from firms from across Canada because we're too fucking cheap to use any of our money to do shit ourselves. Man, I am just so over him. I can't believe that he's such a failure.
You got to be careful when doing a Carney impression because it's very easy to just slip into Obama.
Yeah.
That just turns into an Obama
Generic
impression.
statesman.
Yes, I am a generic political statesman. Let me
Or
be
you
clear.
become JJ McCullough, which is
Let
worse.
me be clear. But yeah, this is fucking stupid.
It's just fluff. It's crap, and Canadians still need UBI and affordable free housing. So fuck you, Carney.
Yeah.
Still, that's still the story.
I love how
Firebomb Sussex Drive.
I love how he's making
It's okay to say that because there's no government officials there currently.
yet.
So go ahead. Maybe if someone firebombed 24 Sussex Drive, it would actually be write-offable as like an insurance thing.
Yeah, maybe.
And now you'll make some money.
Exactly.
Carney. See, you got to start thinking like
Precisely.
an Italian.
Antifa, help save the Prime Minister's
Yes.
residence.
Any Canadian Antifa out there, the address you're looking for is 24 Sussex Drive.
What the fuck is this ad?
It's AI slop.
I know, it's just like, looks like 2 feet soaking in
Remember
bags
I
of
said
piss.
that the Canadian media ecosystem was dying and running out of money? Well, this is where they're
Yeah.
getting their money from.
Piss bags, look at
Piss
that.
bags and AI ads.
Meet the real enemy of swollen legs.
A bag of
Those are
piss.
toes, not legs, but whatever.
Leg.
Anyway. She got legs, soaking them in piss bags.
Wow. Anyway, we're going to end this Canada First segment with a post from the Department of Homeland Security Twitter account.
Whoa.
The dumbest Canadian on the planet was just arrested in America. I'll let you read this.
Oh my God. Caitlin Tracy is a criminal illegal alien from Canada who was charged with simple assault, neglect of a child, compounding crime, and harassing communication. She allegedly struck a teenage girl wearing pro-Trump memorabilia on a boardwalk in Point Pleasant Beach during 4th of July weekend. She was arrested by the Point Pleasant Beach Police Department, who facilitated a controlled transfer into ICE custody, where she will remain pending her immigration proceedings. She entered the United States on April 14, 2024, on a visa set to expire on September 6, 2024. In violation of our nation's laws, she overstayed her visa and failed to depart. So she harassed a U.S. citizen with an expired, while having an expired visa.
Yes. I don't know where this dumb hick is from, but money says Alberta. But
Mhm.
either way, like I don't know what kind of like mental process you have to go through to do something like this, because you know that they're gonna get you, right?
Mhm.
Like you are in the terrorist nation of America, the hostile nation to Canadians, and you look ridiculously Canadian as well.
Yeah.
Like on site, the police would have been like, "Yep, get her."
That's a Canuck right there.
Yeah. Like I actually like, you know that this person also like the photo here. I don't know if it's projecting or if it's like kind of assuming, but she's really giving those hardcore sort of like first wave woke vibes, where she's
Mhm.
just like, you know, like, aha, flicking the MAGA hat off their head is just as effective as an actual criticism of their policies and their actions. Because like, no, actually, that's assault, and I don't like to defend a MAGA person ever. But they're in Florida, right? They're in America. Point Pleasant Beach. I actually don't know where Point Pleasant Beach. Maybe I just assumed.
I want
it
to say
was Florida.
California,
Yeah.
maybe.
But either way, I don't know why she thinks that she was so invulnerable to being picked up when she had been in the country for almost 2 full years with an expired visa. So, frankly, Department of Homeland Security, I don't think we want her either.
Yeah.
Maybe send her to Greenland or something. I don't. Send her to Venezuela.
Yeah, right?
We don't want her. She's too stupid for this country. Yeah, we don't know where she's from, but we know she's Canadian, and we do not support her, but we hate Trump. So there you go.
We don't
Don't
own
assault
her.
random Americans when you're in America.
With an
That-
expired visa, no
yeah,
less.
if you're gonna assault people with MAGA hats, do it in your own country. Yeah, that's the takeaway. And she should have done that in her own country. But clearly, she stuck around in America after Trump was reelected. By the way, she'd been there
she
since
stayed.
2024.
Her visa was expired like 2 months before the election,
Yeah.
and after Trump was elected, she still decided to stay.
Yeah, dumbest Canadian ever. This has been a Canadian heritage moment.
Hey, look, it's that thing you were just talking about.
This is like the recurring gag of the show is that I never remember what stories I actually have in the queue. So I'll let you read it.
Republican bill aims to punish Canadian provinces with U.S. alcohol bans.
Let's see if that acronym is in here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. The Combating Attacks on Our National Alcoholic Drinks by Allies Act. Canada.
Wow, very subtle.
From U.S. Republican dipshit Claudia Teeny
Tenny?
Tiny Brain.
Teeny tiny
Which
Tenny.
she said would hold Canada accountable for unfair provincial limits on importing American alcohol, which were, of course, made in response to the trade war and tariffs launched against Canada by their dictatorial president.
Mm-hmm. What is it even going to do? Like, what's the act supposed
They're
to do?
just trying to act like the victim.
Mhm.
It's just a way for them to put into law that America is the perpetual victim. Even when they do something first to you and you respond, they are still the victim because you made them hurt.
She stated that resolving the Canadian province's discriminatory treatment of American alcohol producers would require an enforcement action. How are they going to enforce something in a different country? Just take us over because of our booze?
Because we're not buying their booze.
Okay.
Yeah, so what she's saying is they need to force us to buy their booze.
How are they going to do that?
That's what they're going to try and enshrine into law. Maybe they're going to like make it so that any Canadian crossing the border is legally required to buy something at the duty-free shop.
Yeah, right.
That's a joke.
Canadian provinces cannot be allowed to hold American wineries, breweries, and distilleries hostage and attempt to ransom them.
Oh my God, that's what your fucking dipshit president is doing to the entire nation. Oh my God. American wineries, breweries, distilleries, and other beverage producers deserve fair access to Canadian markets, not discriminatory treatment from one of our closest trading partners.
But you've like belittled us.
They
and
did it
threatened
first.
us.
You fuckers did it first.
Mhm. You started it.
Oh my God.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said on April 23rd that provincial bans on American alcohol are a trade irritant.
Yeah, we know
remember
that.
I remember that.
I heard a statement that Canada is like one of the most, like our provinces have even more like rights than certain like U.S. states do. And that's why we get to really create our own like importing laws.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no federal stipend for this. Ontario imported roughly $965 million worth of booze from America before the ban.
Mm-hmm. That meant roughly $2 million worth of U.S. products have either expired or would expire in the next few months.
Yeah, and that number is 0 now. New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt said April 28th that she was willing to put American alcohol back on store shelves if the United States reversed course on tariffs and duties. Yeah, so this stalemate is going to continue. I don't care how much lying the Republicans do stateside. Canadians are not that dumb. We are not as dumb as the average American. Okay? And we will not be buying American booze.
No, thank you.
Period.
It sucks anyway.
It does.
Yeah, so just, an article.
And it's made with lead water.
About bitching and moaning.
Well, they are right that America has the biggest wine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just that, really. Whoa, U.S. doing more bad stuff?
Whoa, from onenews.com/New Zealand. It's a New Zealand website. U.S. cancels automatic protections for endangered animals. Bye-bye snapping turtle.
Alligator snapping turtle.
Snapping turtle.
Wow.
Cool.
The U.S. Interior Department canceled a rule meant to protect plants and animals that determined to be threatened with extinction, the latest step by President Donald Josephine Trump's administration to dismantle key provisions of the landmark Endangered Species Act at the behest of industry.
Instead of receiving automatic protections, imperiled species will need individualized protection plans once they are added to the threatened species list. That's a potentially lengthy process in which companies could seek exemptions for oil and gas drilling, mining, and other development where those species live.
Opponents said it would make it harder to save wildlife that's awaiting federal protections and in danger of disappearing, such as monarch butterflies and alligator snapping turtles. A second change requires officials to analyze economic impacts when deciding whether habitat is critical to a species' survival.
It's critical to all species' survival.
Critics say it gives corporations an opportunity to put their thumb on the scale so that officials will allow development in those areas. Yeah, see, this is what happens when conservatives take charge. They don't actually conserve anything.
Yeah.
They will burn the environment happily, liberals too, but they'll just apologize while they're doing it. Conservatives won't apologize. They will happily kill anything if it makes the bottom line go up. And that's about it, really.
Wow.
A lot of these changes were made during Trump's first term, and you'll never Guess when they were reversed.
During Joe Biden.
Yeah,
The rules that gave what some consider blanket protections to threatened species were first adopted for wildlife in 1975 and for plants in 77. 75, while Gerald Ford was president, I'm pretty sure he was a Republican.
Well,
wasn't he?
Nixon established
Nixon
the Environmental Protection Agency.
Yeah, he established the EPA.
Because before Republicans destroyed civil discourse, it actually wasn't a left or a right thing to want to keep the planet alive and to save the environment, actually. That only became politicized thanks to Ronald Reagan when he removed the solar panels that Jimmy Carter had put on the White House.
He put solar panels on the
Jimmy
White
Carter
House?
put solar panels on the White House, and Reagan took them off first thing he did because Reagan was evil and stupid and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there you go. The U.S., I mean, we know that they love killing minorities, so it doesn't surprise us that they're going to try and actively kill their endangered species next.
Mm-hmm. About 30 species are currently proposed to be listed as threatened. Besides monarchs and alligator snapping turtles, they include California spotted owls and various snakes, fish, clams, and insects.
Mm-hmm. There's so many clams in the U.S. that are, like, endangered. I found myself in many a Wikipedia rabbit hole for this sort of thing before, and it's ridiculous how, like, every little inland freshwater pond all over the U.S. South, they had their own clam species for, like, ages. But then once industrialization kicked in and like dams were erected and all this stuff, all the ecosystems were destroyed. So there's still like, there's species that are like, we don't even know about that were wiped out.
Last week, Interior officials sharply narrowed the definition of what constitutes harm to a species.
Oh
Quote,
my God.
The change would allow development on critical wildlife habitats so long as the animals themselves are not immediately killed.
Oh my God. So it's like, you can do whatever you want on the land. Just don't hurt or kill any animals yet.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of inevitable when you're like developing a land. Of course, you're going to kill a few animals, I would assume.
Well, the U.S. government is assuming you won't do that. Or at least if you do that, you won't write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what was it? This week, officials also sharply reduced the amount of critical habitat in the U.S. Rocky Mountains designed for the Canada lynx. Boo.
Wow. Going after the Canadian lynx specifically. Shameful.
Yeah, that should be our mascot.
Yeah, right? Fuck the
every time I
or the loon or whatever.
I keep like lowering myself out of the camera shot here.
Yeah, got to show your fabulous frame.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
there you go.
shirtless frame.
Yay.
Wow, I can't believe that they changed what harm means to do to an
What do you mean
animal.
by harm?
That's like the kind of argument the thinking my parents would use. It's like, well, you have a roof over your head. It's not so bad, is it?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
You're not dead or injured, are you? Yeah, That's
Not
how
yet.
That's how you assess quality of life. Are you dead or injured? And those are the only questions.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not dead or injured, then you must be thriving.
Mm-hmm. Got a news story from
Yeah.
Mehdi Hassan on Twitter.
So not technically a story from Mehdi, but a commentary. It's a quote tweet here on screen. So last Thursday, I think it was, so almost a week today or tomorrow, Trump did another primetime address
Mm-hmm.
where he didn't talk about anything except that China stole the election, and that's about it. So a few of the major networks in the U.S. didn't even air it, which was nice. Good
Wow.
change. But he also didn't mark it as being an emergency broadcast, so it wasn't required. It was
Mhm.
just like optional. So he's like, I've instructed my department to release all these documents to prove that China stole the election. And because no one in Trump's team knows how to read, they inadvertently published proof that Russia was in fact the one interfering in 2020. And
Oh
that's
my
what the
God.
screenshots are for.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah.
Trump released documents that confirm Russia tried to interfere in the 2020 election to hurt Biden. It says Russia tried to orchestrate a high-profile corruption scandal and push narratives about voter fraud resulting from mail-in balloting.
And that's all stuff he tried to blame on China. Their aim is to defeat the former vice president, Joe Biden, and ensure the current president's victory. So Russia openly saying that their goal was to get Trump reelected.
Yep. Some of these proxy actors anticipate that Ukraine-themed narratives about democratic corruption will play a decisive role in the election and that U.S. persons are key to propagating these narratives.
Since our assessments in May, Russia continues to use state media, social media, and other online media platforms to denigrate the former vice president, the Democratic Party, and the U.S. political establishment, and to promote divisions in the country. This content has largely been favorable to the president, Trump. but on occasion it criticizes his administration for policies that run counter to Russian interests.
Wow. Russian actors have circulated narratives about voter fraud resulting from mail-in balloting and called some U.S. primary voting processes rigged by the Democratic Party.
Yep. The calls coming from inside the house.
President Putin and senior Russian officials are overseeing efforts by proxies, blank, to spread claims about former Vice President Biden as well as Ukrainian politicians and alleged Ukrainian influence in the 2016 U.S. election. These claims include that when the former Vice President was in office, he engaged in criminal activities in his dealing with Ukraine and individuals tied to Ukrainian energy firm Burisma.
That's the one that
Wow.
Hunter Biden was involved with.
Wow. So, yep, it's just right there.
Yeah, so they don't check anything.
No.
It's so embarrassing. But hey, I mean, there's never been a better time to be an enemy of the American state. They're just handing all the information to you for free. Now it's time for Sky News.
Australia. Yeah, we're going around the world now.
Well, it's a Sky News story about the UK.
About the UK,
so,
yeah.
It's Commonwealth, baby. So Nigel Farage is the loser shithead leader of the Reform Party, or was
UKIP is what it was called.
Well, it was the UK Independence Party before during Brexit, but now I think it's Reform because they have to reform the terrible state of the UK that they put them in by leaving Brexit.
Yeah.
So Nigel Farage is the man who has been like expected to become prime minister one day because he's like the super far right conservative nutcase of the UK. But like all far right conservative nutcases, he keeps doing illegal things and breaking the law and taking money from donors without declaring it. So the House of Representatives in the UK launched an investigation into him internally. Sort of like if you remember when in the US they launched that investigation into Matt Gaetz from Florida because of his constant pedophilia stuff. So same thing, they were running an investigation into Farage. So Farage is like, aha, you can't investigate me if there's an election. So he resigned his seat as the representative for a place called Clacton, I believe.
Clacton?
Yes, yeah, Clacton by-election. So he resigned, but because he is such a political hack, he was calling it like, oh, this is a test, the people versus the media, and it's going to be me, I'm the face of the people. You know, I'll challenge all comers coming at me, haha, legitimize my by-election. And they didn't. The Labour, the Greens, the Lib Dems, every major party in the UK is sitting it out. So when the candidate time came and went, there was just one other candidate running against Nigel Farage.
Count Binface, which there was a picture of him here, but now it doesn't seem to be here.
Yeah, because Sky News auto-played a video and took away the image that we had on screen.
Where's Binface? Where's old Binface? Don't make me go to Google. Here he is.
Yeah, Count Binface.
Count Binface.
A perennial candidate in the UK for a variety of offices.
Yeah.
And it seems like if Clacton doesn't want Farage, they've got one other choice, and it's going to be Count Binface.
Yeah.
He's done many interviews so far.
He has a Wikipedia page?
Oh, yeah, because he's ran multiple times.
Wow.
For lots of different positions. He even had to change his name before because he went by Lord Buckethead before. But it was from a movie, though. Like, it was an actual character from an actual movie. So then the guy who owned the rights was like, Hyperspace from a movie called Hyperspace.
Also, there's a guitarist named Buckethead.
Yeah.
Who wears a KFC bucket on his head.
So yeah, that Lord Buckethead had to go, and Count Binface was born.
Yeah.
But he has an education from the University of Oxford, which, hey, there you go.
That's something.
But yeah, he's got some really great policies, like he wants to build at least one affordable home.
Wow.
Much better than what Carney has accomplished so far. So if I was a UK resident in Clacton, I would 100,000% be voting for Count Binface. I would be committing electoral fraud for all of my friends to vote for Count Binface.
Yeah, honestly.
And then I would be arrested and watch Count Binface win from my jail cell. Yeah. And Farage can finally just walk into the waves of the English Channel and return to the sea where he came from.
This is like the shortest article.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to say about it at the time because Farage is like upset. He's really sad.
He's mad.
He really thought that this stupid little by-election was going to be his way to become prime minister.
No.
No,
way.
man. I mean, I really, really, really hope that the Clacton folks. I know hoping for the British to have a sense of humor can be like a lost cause, but I really, really hope that they're more willing to entertain a joke political candidate than they are to send a fucking racist back to Parliament. So let's go, Clacton. Vote
And
for
fuck
Count
you,
Binface.
Farage.
This article's so fucking useless. It doesn't even say when the by-election is.
Yeah, right.
Sky News Australia, more like failure.
Pie in the sky news, more like it. Traveling from the UK/Australia to Germany.
Yes,
Yeah.
Germany.
Yes.
A bad policy that if this was put in France, the people would protest and burn everything down. But if it's put in Germany, I wonder how they'll react.
Germany's sick leave policy. We are scrapping sick leave by phone, says Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Doctor's note required from day one of illness. Why do you have sick leave? We don't have that kind of thing in Germany.
So yeah, they're going to require an actual doctor's note to call in sick to work.
Yeah. Wow. Even if you like wake up and you have a sore throat and you're like, I don't know
suppose,
if I
yeah,
can
on the
come in.
from the first day an employee calls in sick, replacing the current system that often permits workers to take up to 3 days of sick leave without medical documentation.
The changes also mean workers will not be able to obtain the note by phone, scrapping a measure brought in due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So if you wake up and you have like a sore throat and a stuffy nose,
Get your fucking ass to work.
You either go to work or you go to the doctor's office that day
Yes.
and like try to get a walk-in appointment to get a
Yes.
doctor's note
Get a
while
note.
also missing work.
And then send the note to work somehow. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the very next part of the paragraph, the next paragraph, the move is aimed at improving productivity. I'm sorry, human productivity is still the highest it's ever been in human history. So this isn't going to do any of that, actually.
It's going to lessen productivity because everyone's going to be fucking sick.
Yeah, like, hello? We literally didn't learn anything from COVID, man. We need a sequel so fucking bad. And supports Germany's struggling economy. Every economy is struggling because money is fake and America took it all. Oh my God, no one has checked Fort Knox. You know, that's one of my favorite, like, random things from a few years ago that no one remembers because everyone's brains has been just so thoroughly rotted after the pandemic, was that Elon Musk said, hey, we should go check on Fort Knox and make sure the gold is still there. And because Trump is such an easily manipulated dipshit, he started repeating that. He's like, I'm going to go check Fort Knox to see if the gold's still there. But then they all dropped it.
Because they told him to stop talking about it. Probably.
Everyone stopped talking about, hey, let's check on Fort Knox. You know why? Because there's no gold left in Fort Knox. It's gone. It's been used to bomb children in Palestine. It's gone. That's why no one wants to talk about the gold standard anymore because, surprise, the U.S. gave it all away.
What's that got to do with sick leave in Germany, though?
Not much.
You went off on such a huge tangent just now.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I guess it's just sort of like how they said they scrapped the phone thing because of COVID. Like, we just don't learn anything. It's just the frustrations of the human race's failure to actually learn.
COVID's over, so therefore this policy that was actually pretty good, it has to go too, because nobody will ever catch COVID again.
Man, I don't know if this is going to be popular in Germany. I don't know if Friedrich Merz is very popular right now, but
No.
I don't know.
It just doesn't make any
Under the
sense.
current rules, a certificate is only required if a person is unfit for more than 3 days. In other words, on the 4th day, employers are entitled to request the sick note earlier.
So it was up to the employer's discretion, basically. Yeah. Well, say goodbye to that.
Nothing like the German government helping employers rather than the people.
Yeah.
Hey,
right?
German public, do you guys want to do anything about that? The French might have a lesson for you on how to discipline your stupid government. It's actually so sad to see workers' rights getting chipped away just so consistently. Carney is against workers here by constantly defending big business. Germany, too. And I thought Germany was one of the more robust worker societies. But without politicians' homes being firebombed enough, it's clear that they don't feel like they need to represent.
They had a whole
workers.
German workers' party, remember?
Yeah, right? Maybe they need to bring that back.
Yeah, right?
Anyway, here's some bad news.
From around the world. It's all bad.
It's sort of like being a Canadian in America and then attacking someone wearing Trump stuff. Imagine being a gay person on a cruise ship and then trying to go to a Muslim country.
That's just not a good idea.
It's like, hello, are you dumb?
Yeah. Egypt blocks entry to LGBTQ cruise days after Turkey did the same.
Yeah, so it's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing twice
Over
and
and over,
expecting
yeah.
a different result.
This is from CBC News on July 9th.
Also, I like that you said LGBTQ instead of the Canadian
2S LGBTQ. It's just
I'm
too
sorry,
much.
I will never.
It's too much.
This could get me canceled if I run for political office one day, but I did run for school board and I was saying LGBT or LGBTQ and I got called out like, why aren't you saying the 2S one?
Because it's too long.
Because one, it's too long, and two, I don't believe that Two-Spirit should precede the entire acronym because that's what the plus is for. And three, Canada doesn't care about natives. Adding their letters to the LGBT acronym doesn't get them clean drinking water. So how about the government actually do something meaningful for the natives instead of forcing every progressive to add their letters to this acronym that doesn't improve their quality of life or their rights at all? It is performative.
It's a
bullshit.
Band-Aid.
It is crap. So no, I will literally never, ever, ever, ever in my life say 2S LGBTQ+. Sorry, it is not happening. I hope this didn't offend any natives, but if you're offended, maybe read about how your communities don't have clean drinking water and how that's a human right, and maybe get more mad about that and then channel that anger towards the government and not a random podcast person.
Yeah.
So there
Sounds
you
about
go.
right.
Fucking hell. Firebombs, guys. Come on. You used to be good at this. Anyway.
The Scarlet Lady cruise ship has changed its itinerary for the second time this week after first Turkey and now Egypt denied it entry to their ports. The ship, owned by Virgin Voyages and chartered by
Oh my god.
travel company Atlantis Events, is carrying 1,900 passengers, including legendary Broadway performer Patti LuPone. Ooh!
I can't even wrap my head around that it was chartered.
Mm-hmm.
So they made this itinerary specifically for the LGBT cruisers, I guess, that they knew were going to be on the ship. And they're like, I know, we're an LGBT travel company. We should send our queer guests to
Turkey and Egypt. I mean, like, there's like LGBT safe travel guides all over the internet that are like, here's a safe place for you to go. Here's where you shouldn't go.
but the only the on all those lists, the only city is Tel Aviv.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so that is just super dumb and bad.
The passengers found out on Thursday the cruise would not be heading to Alexandria, Egypt, as a replacement for previously planned stops to Kusadasi and Istanbul in Turkey. Earlier this week, Turkish authorities canceled the planned port calls, saying the cruise was chartered by groups known for behaviors incompatible with the fabric of our society and our moral values.
The itinerary was then revised to replace Turkish stops with a port of call. That's what they call it when the ship docks in Alexandria, Egypt, and Crete, Greece. But shortly before the ship was due to arrive in Alexandria, passengers were notified through the Virgin Voyages app that the vessel had also been denied entry into Egyptian waters. Who is this Atlantis agency? They're the dumbest, most incompetent fucks in the
sending a whole ship of
on.
LGBT people into like a homophobic country twice. Oh my god.
I mean,
they might be able to go to Greece. They might have some success in Greece. I don't want to be way
too far into the stereotypes here. I don't know if this is a US or a UK based company, because I know that Virgin is a UK company and the ship is Virgin. So maybe it's 2,000 queers from the UK on this ship that think that every city is as receptive to flaming homosexuals as Barcelona is. But like, they're not though. And the fact that the travel agency that literally chartered the ship couldn't like make that judgment call and be like, actually, maybe we shouldn't send the boat full of queers to port in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, right.
Are you fucking stupid? And the answer
is yes.
See, every time I say that, I'm like pulling from Professor Zhang, and the answer
is yes.
is yes. Neither Egyptian officials, Virgin Voyages, nor Atlantis Events had publicly explained why the Alexandria call was denied. And unlike Turkey, Egypt has not publicly cited a reason for refusing the ship entry. So only Turkey is the one to make a public statement so far.
While homosexuality is not illegal in Turkey, the country has taken an increasingly hardline stance towards rights.
LGBT rights.
Under President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's government.
Erdogan. I know that it's a weird one.
Erdogan. Yeah. I keep thinking, his name is Recep. Oh, it's Recep Tayyip. Oh, it's Recep Tayyip Erdogan.
I know. I don't know of any other world leader where we get their full name like that. Erdogan is not the easiest name to read if you don't know how it's said. Last year, human rights groups responded with alarm to a leaked draft legislation that would criminalize same-sex commitment ceremonies and expand public indecency provisions.
Ooh.
Well, it doesn't sound like that actually was put forward or passed if it was just leaked. So, I don't know. According to Virgin Voyages, the cruise's itinerary has been revised again. The ship will now visit Santorini and Chania in Greece, Kotor, Montenegro, and Dubrovnik and Zadar in Croatia. That's a lot more normal of an itinerary.
That's way better.
That's a Mediterranean Adriatic itinerary. That's one that I would like to do.
Yeah, honestly.
I was actually
We should
looking.
go.
I want to go on a cruise again. I was looking at cruises with a coworker at my job, and she's from Mauritius, which is an island nation in the Indian Ocean. And she was talking about
Mauritius.
Yeah, and she was saying like, oh, it's hard to like, Mauritius is not as touristy as some of the other islands there, not whatever. And I'm like, oh, maybe if you went on a cruise ship, they would stop there because it's an island. And she's like, I don't think they stop there. But I actually found a couple cruises that are long ones, like 30 to 50 day ones that start in like in Europe, like in like Venice, and they go all the way down through the Suez Canal. They go through the like side of Africa near Madagascar. They hit up all the islands. They go out in the Pacific. They go to like Fiji and stuff. Really, really cool.
Very cool
itinerary. And I don't know if they would have a stop in Egypt, but they also probably wouldn't label the ship as an LGBT ship before making a request like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're less likely to be detained if you're just a gay person on a regular cruise ship with a stop in Egypt.
Yeah, right.
Or just don't get off the ship because they don't have any right to seize you if you're on the ship either. So they have a statement from their entertainment.
From Patty Lupon. She is so furious right now. In an Instagram post, Lupon also decried Turkey's stance. A ship! A magnificent ship! Full of gay men! And me! Denied entry to Turkey simply because of who was on board. I am furious! I am ready to perform for all the world's wonderful men on this Atlantis cruise who deserve so much better than this!
I mean, the gay men still have Patty LuPone on the ship, so I mean, they're getting what they paid for. They're just not getting to visit the the countries that hate their own people. I can't even imagine that. Like, it feels like a gag from like a bad SNL skit or a good Mad TV skit.
I can't wait to stop off in Turkey. Woo!
I just booked the sickest LGBT cruise for us. So first we're gonna stop in Saudi Arabia, and then we're going to Dubai, and then finally Iran.
I mean, if you're like a rich gay person with tons of money, I'm sure you'd have a great time in Saudi Arabia.
If you were a rich gay person in Saudi Arabia, do you think that they would behead you quicker or slower?
No, well, because you have the money to pay people off.
Maybe.
So you can have a great time behind closed doors.
I know when Kanye West recorded his last albums in Saudi Arabia, he claimed that he had weed. Like, he had plugs in Saudi Arabia that were getting him weed. So, I don't know. Maybe anything's possible when you're that rich.
Exactly.
But yeah, very dumb. Atlantis, shame on that organization. LGBT,
shame on you.
Trip bookers, and you can't even book a decent itinerary. So pathetic.
So dumb.
This is an interesting website, voxpopuli.com.
Vox Populi.
China is building 75 solar parks in Cuba as their energy crisis worsens, and they're treating it like an infrastructure experiment because the U.S. has had an illegal blockade on Cuba for a long time, just like Israel has an illegal blockade on Gaza. But remember, the world doesn't know what human rights are anymore, so it doesn't matter. And so China is stepping up to provide a way out for Cuba so that they don't have to beg for oil and gas, which the U.S. can embargo, but China can send the kits to set up solar panels, and they can hopefully get as close to off-grid, at least dependence-wise, on that.
Hopefully this is beneficial for Cuba as well.
Exactly. Oh, we don't have a story about this, actually. We're in the Around the World section right now, so I'll mention it. The U.S., I think yesterday or the day before, put out a massive manifesto about how Cuba is actually the one, like, undermining democracy. It's insane. They are blaming everyone. Everything from
except Trump,
from like organizations like the Democrat Socialists of America, DSA, to Think Pink, to Zoran Mamdani, to even like Hassan Piker. They're saying Cuba is responsible for all of it, which is definitely a way you can like groom the American public to be more interested in a Cuban invasion, I suppose, which we all know is coming. But yes, let's read this article a little bit. Cuba's energy crisis has turned sunlight into a matter of national survival. With long blackouts still hitting homes, hospitals, businesses, and transport, the island is racing to build one of the fastest solar expansions in the Caribbean.
Backed heavily by Chinese equipment and financing. The shift is already visible on the grid. Cuba's latest official power report cited 54 new solar parks producing 4,795 megawatt hours in a day, with a peak contribution of 755 megawatts around midday. That is not enough to end the crisis, but it's enough to change the conversation from fuel shipments to energy independence. Good for them.
Yeah, exactly. The growth matters because Cuba's conventional power system has been battered by fuel shortages, aging thermal plants, sanctions, and deep economic crises. When diesel and fuel oil are hard to obtain, a solar park becomes more than a green project. It becomes a way to keep part of the country running while the sun is high.
China's role in Cuba's solar build-out is now one of the most important pieces of the island's energy strategy. Grandma? That's an interesting name. Grandma reported that Cuba's
It looks like a Cuban website.
Yeah. Reported that Cuba's large solar plan calls for 92 photovoltaic parks by 2028, with a combined capacity of 2,012 megawatts connected to the national electric system.
Wow. Effectively, Cuba is trying to replace imported fuel with infrastructure that sits on the island and keeps producing power day after day. Beijing's help gives Havana equipment, technical support, and financing at a moment when traditional energy options are shrinking. That's good. And why Washington is watching. Reuters reported the U.S. sanctions and tariff threats have worsened fuel shortages by discouraging oil shipments from countries such as Venezuela and Mexico. The Trump administration has said its pressure campaign is meant to push political change in Cuba.
Of course it is.
Always regime change. Oh, here is the twist, however. Pressure on oil may be speeding up the very kind of Chinese energy foothold that U.S. officials worry about. Solar panels are not oil tankers, and once they are installed, they are much harder to block with the same tools. Yeah, and there's also a section here about the storage problem. That's where the harder part begins. Without large-scale batteries and other storage systems, daytime solar power cannot fully replace thermal generation after sunset.
They need some place to store the power they generate during the day. I see.
Yeah, for many Cubans, that means a daily rhythm is still shaped by outages. Businesses plan around power cuts. Families rush to cook when electricity returns, and basic routines become a guessing game. So at the end of the day, Cuba is trying to do two things at once. It wants quick relief from blackouts, and it wants a long-term escape from imported fuel. And China also gets something from the arrangement. It strengthens ties with a longtime U.S. adversary and expands the reach of its clean energy companies, showing solar energy can be used as a diplomatic tool as much as an industrial product. Damn fucking right. We should have solar panels in this country, but we don't.
It sounds like the start of another Cold War brewing, this time between the U.S. and China. Except China is already way ahead of the U.S.
Yeah, and the U.S. depleted half its stockpile
of
wasted
nukes
in Iran.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think that if the U.S. were to... Honestly, that would be a really funny way for like a war with the U.S. and China to kick off, would be if the U.S. invades Cuba and China is like, no.
We were actually in there.
Yeah.
You can't
do that. That would be a really funny way for the war to start, because everyone thinks it's going to start with Taiwan, China invading Taiwan, but
China's not going to do anything. They don't even really want to invade Taiwan, as far as I know. Like
they want it to be a part of China.
Yeah, they do, but they also have a very anti-invasion kind of policy, do nothing, neutral stance.
Yeah, I'm sure they're watching the U.S. right now closely to see what moves they can make, and that's why helping Cuba out is probably the best move they can make.
Absolutely.
So yeah, good for Cuba, good for China, and continue to fuck America. That's how we like it. And now coming in from the Kiev Post.
Straight from the Ukraine. Ukraine hits one of Russia's largest refineries, bridge and command post in multi-target strike.
Ukraine has absolutely been pummeling Russia in the last few weeks.
Yeah,
it has been amazing to see. Yeah, we don't need to try and read some of these.
Fuck, yeah, I'm not reading
my
that.
God.
That is a name.
Yeah, we're not reading the name of that refinery.
Anyway, a refinery in Kostovo, Russia, according to Ukraine's general staff, was hit by the Ukrainian military. It posted it on Telegram, too. Nice.
And it triggered a fire on the facility's grounds.
Wow.
Oh, good. It is the fourth in the country in Russia by processing capacity and second in gasoline production.
Wow.
The plant can produce around 15 tons of oil annually.
15 million tons.
15 million tons of oil annually, and produce approximately 5 million tons of gasoline, supplying fuel to the Moscow region.
Yeah, not much else to say about this, but good on Ukraine.
Yeah, keep an eye on those attacks. Ukraine has stepped it up, and Russia is hurting right now. So I don't know how close that war is coming to an end. Lindsey Graham really wanted it to be over by now, but he ended up being over first. But so let's keep rooting for Ukraine.
This just seems like one of those forever wars that's just going to keep on going.
Every war is a forever war.
Mhm. Closing things up now with 2 Israeli stories. Israel from Israel Exposed on Twitter. It took a little longer than expected, but we have created a website for people to view the footage collected from Gaza in one place. You no longer have to download the entire archives to see them. It includes 64,537 videos, 17,905 photos, ability to download individual videos, searchable index, exhaustive sources lists, geolocation data, live map with minute-to-minute updates, and a victim list. It can be accessed at archivegenocide.com. You heard it here, folks. Graphic footage. Oof.
Yeah,
I don't know if we
it's
should
be real stuff.
Yeah, we should not post that on our YouTube
But
video.
for anybody
but it's there.
who wants to see it,
Yep.
archivegenocide.com.
Yep.
Thanks to Israel Exposed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at all those blurred.
They've seen
videos.
how many of their channels and stuff get deleted from YouTube and whatnot, so it makes sense that they finally put it all on an independent website. So good for them. And continue to spread the word of the evil new Nazi atrocities.
Yep. Visit archivegenocide.com.
Yeah, thank you.
To
Israel
make yourself
Exposed.
hate Israel even more.
Yay. Speaking of hating Israel, for our religious audience, I don't know if we have a large religious audience, but I hope that you'll know that the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu, said that Jesus Christ is a wimp. And
Jesus is a pussy.
Yeah, big pussy.
Also wrote The Lessons of History, very brief, 100-page book, in which he said, well, history proves that, unfortunately and unhappily, Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. Because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Aggression will overcome moderation. So you have no choice. If you look at the world as it is today, you have to be blind not to see that the democracies led by the United States have to reassert their will to defend themselves and to oppose their enemies in time while there's still time, before the jarring gong of danger wakes them up and wakes them up too late. This is where we are now. The fact that people don't see that, the fact that a lot of the news media are harking on a lot of fake news, but also a lot of short-sightedness, and do not see the historic period and the historic struggle that we are engaged in now.
The jarring gong of doom, right?
That's already been sounded, and you are the ones heralding it, my friend.
Yeah, and I would just like to point out, as someone who went to catechism, got confirmed, did the whole rigmarole in a church thing growing up a little bit, not full on Catholic school or anything like that, but I know my theology, so to speak, and I'm pretty sure Jesus actively said, "Turn the other cheek."
Mm-hmm.
So in a battle between Jesus Christ and Genghis Khan, I mean, Genghis Khan is the Israelis because they would just mercifully murder everyone in a village to just conquer it. And I guess Jesus is a Palestinian, just like he is, turning the other cheek. And yeah, maybe, obviously, Jesus wasn't a violent man, but the idea was that he was a thought leader, and he did encourage.
He was pretty violent. He flipped those tables.
Well, he did flip those tables, so he was an enemy of capitalism. But he also was a thought leader in fomenting the rise against the Romans, because that was a big part of it too. He understood his role in the story. Believing that Jesus was a real person, it was up to you. But I believe science is fairly certain that he was a real person. And we know that the Romans were the powers that be at the time. And so this metaphor is just terrible. Satan Yahoo fails again.
Yeah.
Also, the jarring gong of doom is
sounds
very,
like an album title.
The jarring gong. What a bizarre series of words to put together. Weren't you educated in Philadelphia, BB? Why are you talking like this? The jarring gong of doom.
Doom.
It's a gong of doom.
Welcome to the Gong
Get it? Because
Show.
it's foreign.
Yeah.
A gong is not Israeli, unless they're saying it is did Israel invent gongs?
Maybe. Kicking off the right-wing trash section with
more Israeli
Israel stuff.
garbage.
I forgot Israel was one of those weird countries that has a president and a prime minister for some reason.
Yeah, it's to defer accountability.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, here's
And when you're a dictator, you can just bounce back and forth
exactly.
between the two
And I think that
positions.
he has actually.
Oh yeah.
I think that this prez has been the prime minister before. His name is like Isaac Herzog or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is claiming as of yesterday that his family is descendant of King David,
The great
from
King
the
David
Bible.
himself.
Yeah.
Whoa. The guy that slingshotted the
to give-
giant.
exactly.
Yeah?
The guy who
Wow.
commissioned the Bible and lied about his origins.
Wow.
Yeah, that guy. King
So
David.
my family lineage is amazing. I mean, usually people don't know much about all of their lineage. I have incredible privilege of knowing my family
sure do.
lineage all the way up to King David. We are descendants of King David, and it's written through. How do we get it? We get it through rabbis who wrote, "I'm I'm a descendant of so and so." My late grandfather, my namesake actually, was Rabbi Isaac Halevi Herzog. He was a giant of a spiritual leader. He was
a
my
giant.
family.
I don't know.
He was a Nephilim? Whoa.
Yeah, he didn't look that big to me.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I think that declaring that you're a descendant of a biblical figure.
It's like claiming you don't have a butthole.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should be grounds for dismissal from government. You sound like
Yeah.
a lunatic, but I guess in Israel that's just the baseline.
They
so.
eat that shit up.
This video, by the way, that we just played you, less than 400 likes, just over 400 retweets, reposts, over 500 replies, and how many views?
1.1 million. So people just saw this and were just like, eh.
People are gawking
Whatever.
at it and laughing, pointing
Yeah,
and laughing
like,
at the
what?
delusional Israelis.
Yeah. It's fucking zero traction on this
Yeah.
thing.
No motion.
Not even in the thousands.
Nope.
None of these are in the thousands.
Nope.
That's crazy. On a 1.1 million view video.
I bet the comments ratio him fairly hard. So there's a version of I'm 1/16th Cherokee in every country, huh?
Yep.
Okay,
Pretty-
that's funny. You should give that a like.
That deserves
was
a
funny,
like.
yeah.
Ask the bastard to take a DNA test. Yeah.
Do we
he's
have
not gonna
King
do it,
David's
though.
DNA?
Yeah, right.
So then what good is that, actually? Also, I'm pretty sure that his family is from, like, Europe.
Yeah, with a last name like Herzog.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, he looks
on.
really Middle Eastern.
Oh, super
yeah.
Middle Eastern. Anyway, from defending Israel to Israel shill, here's Jake Tapper squirming like a bitch after he gets Jonathan Trump on the phone to talk about his dearly departed friend Lindsey Graham. But Jake Tapper, even though he's a shill and a loser for Israel, tries to get a question in about the Strait of Hormuz, and Trump, he's not interested.
Iran has declared the Strait of Hormuz closed. Is that true, Mr. President?
It's open as far as we're concerned. Don't talk about it. Talk about the reason that you asked me to speak.
Okay. We appreciate your
it's
time,
open.
sir.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Mr. President, yes,
please
Mr.
don't be
President.
mad at me. Yeah, I hate Jake Tapper. He's a fucking loser. But yeah, that was pretty remarkable how Trump was like, to us it's open. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
He told you to not believe your eyes and ears. It was his most essential command.
Mm-hmm. You can smell the fear through the screen. Yeah. The smell of a invertebrate.
Yeah, I really
with
do
no
not like
conscience or no spine.
this freaking Jake Tapper. And it's the thing that's amazing to me is that David Ellison, the rich billionaire and his loser son, Larry Ellison, I forget which one is the son and which one's the father. They're both bad. It's like the father, son. They should both be ghosts. But they are planning to buy CNN, right? The big Warner merger thing that's now being stopped, by the way. We didn't talk about this either in a specific story, but the merger between Paramount and Warner is being sued by like 15 different states for anti-competition law and stuff, which is correct. They shouldn't be allowed to merge. But the reason is because they want to make CNN more pro-Trump. I'm sorry, I don't know how more whipped you could make CNN. CNN does not advocate for progressive policy.
No, they do
CNN
not.
is as much a neoliberal fence-sitter operation as most of the mainstream media in America. But the Ellisons are like, we have to buy it and turn it even
We
more
must.
conservative.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like with losers like Tapper looking like, look at him. What a sad, pathetic little guy. I thought journalists spoke truth to power.
Yeah, right?
You shouldn't let him weasel out of it. But no, he's calling because he's supposed to talk about how much he misses Lindsey Graham.
Oh, from Pitchfork.com. Wow.
Yeah, this was a big story.
Madison Square Garden has been secretly tracking queer musicians. Whoa.
The venue's database also assigned a, quote, high-risk label to Freddie Gibbs, Lil Jon, and other rappers.
Wow. Madison Square Garden's current on-site technology includes cameras that scan for facial recognition, allowing the arena to track every person who enters the building. But according to a recent Wired report, the historic New York City venue is keeping far more extensive database on celebrities than previously known, with entries noting a supposed risk level, and in some cases, an individual's sexual orientation and racial identity. Among those listed are Phoebe Bridgers, Freddie Gibbs, and Geese's Emily Green.
Journalists Noah Schachtman and Maddie Varner combed through Madison Square Garden documents that were leaked by a criminal hacker, Shiny Hunter, and first covered by 404 Media. And they found 39,000 entries in the Garden's talent database, including politicians, athletes, business figures, and more. Of the nearly 40,000 people in said database, 93 were marked as LGBTQIA. See, there's that acronym. Such as Bridgers, Green, and Ricky Martin. Well, Ricky Martin's gay? Some celebrities' race and gender identity were also noted, but not everyone was labeled. Pitchfork has reached out to representatives of those aforementioned musicians for comment. I mean, I'd rather get a comment from the venue.
Yeah,
I don't really
right?
care about like, hey, musicians, how does it feel to be profiled in America? That is that the headline?
Roughly 400 celebrities were also reported assigned a risk score. According to one source who spoke to Wired, Madison Square Garden security assigns a score if the person has done something in the publicity world, the social media world, that has caught the attention of the wrong people. Those deemed a low risk include Ice Spice, Selena Gomez, and Benson Boone, while a medium risk tag has been assigned to Morgan Wallen, Lily Allen, and Jadakiss. There's the high risk label,
Jadakiss did ask about 9/11.
which is used on Gibbs, Little John, DaBaby, and A Boogie with the Hoodie. I don't know any of these fucking
I
people.
do. I know all of them.
Oh my God.
Gibbs isn't important. DaBaby, he was the one that did the rap verse on the Dua Lipa song a few years ago.
Mhm.
But then he got canceled because he was like, he said some anti-gay shit. And, you know, obviously that's not going to go over well. But then his career has kind of like slowly started to creep back. And A Boogie with the Hoodie is just a cracked out rapper. Really, he sucks, and he's never made one good song.
Per Wired, Madison Square Garden security actively searches the internet and social media for anything threatening or negative said by its guests, especially celebrities and VIPs. They keep a particularly watchful eye for anything negative about James Dolan, the executive chairman and chief executive officer of
He's
Madison
a
Square Garden.
big buddy of Trump.
Rap producer and longtime Knicks fan DJ Pete Rock is currently marked as Do Not Host in the database, which Rock believes is due to his call for a boycott of Dolan after former Knicks enforcer Charles Oakley was forcibly escorted from the venue.
The surveillance practices implemented by Dolan are also enforced at his other venues, the Sphere in Las Vegas and Radio City Music Hall in New York City. Madison Square Garden is currently facing several class action lawsuits that claim this private data leak was a result of Dolan's increasing surveillance. People whose information may have been compromised are encouraged to change their passwords, enable two-factor authentication, and contact each credit bureau to freeze their credit.
Update. In a statement shared with Pitchfork the morning of Friday, July 10th, a representative of Madison Square Garden wrote, Wired's reporting is inaccurate and false. MSG is pursuing legal remedies.
Yeah, so in the Trump fashion, which I'm sure he was advised by Trump, he's like, oh, we're going to threaten legal action, which absolutely please do. Because if this goes to court, y'all are going to get murdered in discovery. It's going to be bad. You want to see all the emails, all your little private communique come out? Do it. Do it, you fucking pussies. MSG won't, though. I bet they won't.
They won't. They're just going to
They're
threaten.
just big talk. So yeah, there you go. Surprise, surprise. The U.S. surveillance, it's the police state. What do you want?
Let me spell it out for you. I want you to blow up Madison Square Garden.
Oh, this is a sneaky little Easter egg for you rednecks out there.
Yeah, we've mentioned on this show a few times how often certain numbers come up, like 88,
1488.
Yeah, 1488. There's also that one, what is it, like the white supremacist number, like chant thing too that they use. Is that not 1488? I don't know.
Oh, well, for those that don't know, 88 is HH.
For Hulk Hogan.
H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, so HH means Heil Hitler secretly. And 14 is related to the 14 words, which is a phrase that...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, a phrase that white supremacists like to say that's like, we need to secure a future for white children or something.
Yeah.
It's like something
just look
among
at Tobuscus's Twitter. He posted it like a week ago.
He actually did?
He actually did. So, yeah.
That's one guy that's fallen off hard.
I know. I'm not going to try and count out all 14 words, but yeah, those are the two famous numbers for right-wing fascists, 14 and 88. But there are other fun numbers if you like U.S. history, such as how many original colonies were there?
13.
Right. And that number is present where?
On the flag.
On the number of stripes.
The stripes, yes.
Exactly. And so, what does the number 11 represent?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's take a look at this golden eagle. A golden gift to the White House for its 250th birthday year. So they got a nice eagle on the front of the White House. Looks very fascistic.
That's the patio where he stared at the eclipse.
Yeah, and if you look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stars.
Wow, I wonder why there's 11 stars.
11 stars for the Confederate States instead of 13 stars for the original colonies is a detail most Americans won't notice because of our public school system.
Yeah, so I know sometimes that when people point out these sort of thing, like you can put a clip of that lunatic with the Monster Energy can trying to explain the 666 symbology there, but like...
The letter Vav is also the number 6. Short top, long tail. Short top, long tail. You could have here in Hebrew 666 on the can.
This is straight up like, I'm pretty sure that there are laws in the US that require either 13 or like 50 as like the numbers used because it respects the history of the country. And so to have something adorning the White House with 11 stars is not just an oversight, but I'm fairly certain it is intentional. This is a signal to very specific people. Probably if Trump has any like member of that like Proud Boys type group in his orbit still there, or Stephen Miller.
Definitely.
It could be the one pushing for these sorts of subtle things where if you point them out, you sound crazy. But the history is there. There were 13 colonies. There's 13 stripes in the flag. 13 is the number. And it wouldn't really be that hard to fit 2 more stars on the bottom of this stupid golden eagle anyway.
Yeah, right.
So it was deliberate. Trump is a Nazi. We already know. But yeah, just telling the viewers that when you see these right-wing accounts using numbers like 1488, that is what that means. And when you see 11 stars instead of 13, that is what they are
talking about. The Confederacy.
Yeah, they're pro-Confederates, which are, as we all know, were traitors.
And losers, because they lost. They lost the war. Whoa.
Yeah, so next up in right-wing trash, we have a clip from a Kentucky evangelical church where they organized a mock firing squad to execute mock immigrants in front of children who were very much real. They were not mock children attending a summer camp. So remember that the religion that says love thy neighbor,
unless you're a gay trans immigrant,
or black or Muslim
or anything.
But yeah, we'll play a little bit of this video because the brutality of it. You don't need to play the whole thing, but the brutality. Quite something. Go from the beginning. So you can see all the children have been groomed to wearing the memorabilia of this institution. So when Americans cry that like little kids dance and sing Death to America in other parts of the world, like this is how Americans.
That's probably. I just want to say that design on the shirt is definitely AI generated.
Their summer camp Jesus. Shirt
Ask
is
me more about
AI.
Jesus, and there's like an AI generated like
s'more, fire. I've seen so many AI shirts lately. So yeah, there you go. America loves grooming its children.
Yeah, and it loves killing immigrants. So it's their two favorite things in one video.
In one church.
America.
Yep. So there you go. Don't go to America right now, guys. How much more proof do you need?
All right. So this is from Italy? This one?
Yeah. This was sort of like a whistleblower
Mhm.
that came out from a Microsoft Italy data center.
Yeah, from the Canary UK, the original tweet says, a Microsoft worker has quit and sent a mass email detailing Microsoft's complicity in surveillance tech Israel uses to hunt Palestinians. And this is a quote tweet of that. I guess this is from the statement.
Yeah, taken directly from their email.
After nearly 2 years as a critical environment technician at a Microsoft Italy data center, I choose to resign. This is because, right now, Microsoft is massively expanding its European data centers, aka mass surveillance centers, to use Palestine as a laboratory for its experimental digital weaponry. For the past 994 days, Microsoft has powered the genocide of our people in Palestine, and the company's European data centers are fundamental to how Microsoft abets crime against humanity.
Wow.
Yeah.
994 days. You really kept track of all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, recommend everyone to go give this full email article a read at the Canary UK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need more whistleblowers. We need more brave people willing to walk away from six-figure salaries where they become complicit in the murder and genocide of minorities and children to please develop a backbone and do something. I mean, it would have been nice if he had like poured Mountain Dew all over the servers before he left, but the email is a good action too.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, remember those warehouses that were being set on fire a couple months ago? What happened to that?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of AI,
we're a little close to home on this one. This is from Vancouver.
Yep.
The Vancouver Police Department deleted their AI slop bust post. So I think, did we talk about this?
No, this is I don't think we talked about this yet.
The Vancouver Police Department has made significant progress in disrupting drug trafficking and street disorder around the commercial Broadway corridor during Welfare Check Issue Week.
And now it's just hit the next button on the photo here. Let's get a close-up. Yeah, so for our YouTube audience, with the ability to see, must be nice having all your senses.
Those are some fake-ass 20s right there.
Yeah, look at the AI slopification of this currency. The 20, the 10 there, and the row of 20s.
The rainbow
that
knife.
changes color.
Love that.
Yeah. I can't believe that the VPD would post a photo like this. They absolutely need to be, like, disciplined for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I see someone commented there, a link to a CBC article, that the Vancouver police wants to increase their budget to almost $500 million in 2026. So they can do what? Make more AI slop? Sit around on their asses doing nothing?
Yep.
So yeah, for the audio listeners, they won't be able to appreciate the true slop of this photo.
Yeah, the fake ass.
But just know
money.
that the government is trying very hard to implement AI, and the police are more than happy to take advantage of that as well. And not to do their jobs better.
Well, they deleted the post because they got busted for it.
Wow, good.
Wow.
Accountability? Question mark?
Wow.
Anyway, now we're going off to Africa for this story.
Yeah.
Niger has become the first state to criminalize asexuality.
For literally what reason? How do you even prove that?
They've also banned being intersex.
You can get 10 years in prison for being born intersex. Like, it's a medical condition people have. So basically, they just got an idiot to go through the definition of LGBT and banned all of them without knowing what they actually mean.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah. Queer, intersex. Wow. So yeah, if you're born with a penis and a vagina, you're going to jail. Unless your parents give you surgery.
Government.
Unless your parents give you surgery immediately. In which that case, you're giving surgery to minors. Isn't that also supposed to be bad?
I thought we weren't supposed to give gender-affirming care to minors.
Yeah, exactly. People
Yeah.
are so fucking stupid.
Especially the people in the government of Niger. A lot of African governments are extremely regressive in their views on LGBT identity, and a lot of that is left over from colonialism,
from Christian missionaries. Yeah,
exactly. So blame Christians.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
It's totally their
Jeebus.
fault. And here's the last story.
We were talking about this one because we were sort of wondering, how is this political? But I maintain that this belongs in right-wing trash because, in my opinion, corporations are by definition inherently right-wing. And so right-wing trash would be a corporation trying to fuck over an employee despite the employee following the company's procedures. So, on screen right now from people.com, Circle K store clerk claims he did nothing wrong by cashing in $12.8 million lottery ticket left behind by a customer. Circle K said it filed the lawsuit in order to inquire with the court, quote, how to best proceed under these unique circumstances. I just want to say before we get too into it, did you see the number of comments on this article?
1,126
That is more
comments.
comments on this article than a lot of the tweets we've been looking at. So
Yeah,
this
right?
has fired people up. And when we actually get into the nitty-gritty of this article, you're going to see exactly why it is firing up people, because company policy is, well, let's get in there a little bit more. Scroll down. So, Circle K filed a complaint against store clerk Robert Galitza in February, accusing him of trying to cash in the winning lottery ticket that a customer left behind back in November 2025. The customer, the alleged customer in question, had bought multiple tickets for the Pick lottery game. The Pick is the name of it, in which players must match 6 numbers on their tickets to 6 calls, which is basically how every lotto works, I think. Galitza reportedly printed $85 worth of tickets, but the customer only paid for $60 worth, leaving $25 worth of tickets on the counter unclaimed. The remaining tickets were left unattended in the store until the next morning, and the winning numbers were called. Galitza clocked out of work that same day and purchased the abandoned tickets from a different employee, the lawsuit alleges. And his lawyer, Galitza's lawyer, said that his client followed store policy, which explicitly says that employees are required to purchase any leftover lottery tickets. And when he contacted his supervisor, the district manager, to confirm this, to confirm that he could purchase the tickets before buying them.
That is such a bullshit policy.
Yeah,
it's just
really
a way
mean.
to extract money from your employees, because there's no way they expected him to actually win anything.
Yeah.
Because you never win anything with a lottery, except in rare exceptions. So.
The only thing here that I'm like...
Well, he actually won the money? Oh, shit. Okay.
Here's the quote from the lawyer. Quote, "So if you accidentally print them out and they go unsold, it's the industry practice for the person who prints them to be responsible to pay for them. If not the person, then the store manager."
Adding that another store employee even rang him up.
Yeah, my client, he wanted to do the right thing. And this guy, he had worked there for 20 years. And they fired him for the cause of what?
Winning the lottery?
Allegedly violating store policy.
But
which he followed. So I hope...
And now he's got the money to go to court.
Exactly. I hope that Galitza is able to take Circle K for everything that they've got. They are violating their own store policy in their termination of him. And I think he's 100% in the right here. So good for him. I hope he's got all the notes that he asked, like, for permission to buy the tickets from the district manager. I hope he has that written down. And he would even go back to work, apparently, even after winning $12 million.
Yep. He tried to follow all the policies letter for letter and word for word, and he got fired for it. He added that Galitza's primary goal now was to clear his name and show the world he didn't do anything wrong.
And Circle K told people in a statement that, quote, "It is committed to doing the right thing and maintaining a strong, transparent partnership with the Arizona Lottery. That commitment is precisely why we have asked the court how best to proceed under these circumstances." Right, but he followed store policy, though. So what is your fucking problem?
Oh, I can imagine what these comments are like. The conversation for now is closed. Yeah, they got too many comments on it.
Yeah, the comments are definitely like, I believe an employee who has worked there for 20 years would know all the ins and outs.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, these are probably like the most...
Former employee. I'm a former employee.
This might be the most real comment section I've seen in some time. Yeah. I mean, if there's anything the U.S. has a lot of, it's a random bumfuck nowhere, like convenience store, gas station, lottery ticket places, right? So I'm sure there's a lot of people there that can chime in. Yeah.
Now that there's a winner, all of a sudden there is a concern over ownership. Yeah, he would absolutely win this.
Yeah, 100%. So there you go. Corpos are always bad. They do not have your interest at heart. Even if you work for them, they do not care about you. They will throw you away at the drop of a hat. Man, I hope that somehow he can luck himself into becoming like franchise owner.
Even if a policy that they have that you're supposed to follow somehow works in your favor and the stars align and you end up better for it, they'll find a way to fuck you over afterwards.
So there you go. Right-wing trash capped off by some corporate slop.
Corporate meddling.
Remember, if you work for a large corporation, know the ins and outs of your stupid company handbook and all your employee regulations, because you don't want to find yourself in a situation like this. So that's it, really. Enjoy your money, Galitza, and I hope you get more.
we watched this masterpiece from 1994, which got middling reviews at the time and still gets kind of hum-hawed nowadays.
Even though it's referenced constantly.
Yeah, even though it's way better than Independence Day. That's right, I said it.
I haven't seen Independence Day, so I don't know.
This is better. We watched Stargate from 1994. Sci-fi, action, fantasy, Kurt Russell, Egypt.
Whoa.
Twinks wearing robes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Anubis.
Yay.
Whoa.
Yeah, sexy Anubis masks. Hell yeah, this movie's got it all, baby. I quite enjoyed this movie.
I've said after we finished watching it, I'm not a big sci-fi person. I've said that I think on the show before, but Stargate could be my favorite sci-fi movie of all time.
Yeah.
That's played completely straight without being satirical at all, because it was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
I didn't expect the Egypt stuff at all. I thought it was just a straight sci-fi film.
No, I this is my first time watching the movie all the way through, but I've known about this movie for a long time, and I knew that Egypt played a big part. So yeah, it's about portals to other worlds and how the aliens built the pyramids and all that conspiracy shit. But they turn it into a fun sci-fi romp. And I also love the trope of the nerd deciding to stay with the natives at the end.
Yeah,
I
don't
love
go back
that
to
trope.
Earth.
Yeah, I finally found where I belong. I belong right here with my sexy native wife. Yeah, I love that trope.
And I like that it wasn't Kurt that did that either.
Yeah, it was
Kurt
the nerd
tough guy.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It's just a
I'd recommend it.
Action film.
It was good.
Yeah, it's got some heart. Got amazing set pieces. Like,
oh yeah, it was.
This
so
is back.
Nice
yeah,
to
this
see
is back
some
when
beautiful physical sets.
This is back when
props.
they actually put the money into like building really good sets and having really nice costumes.
Like the costumes were breathtaking.
Yeah, this is right before CGI started taking over completely. Because there's some CGI here and there.
Yeah,
and it doesn't look very good, but like it's very few and far between. So yeah, check out Stargate if you want a nice early '90s blockbuster film.
It's still playing the game. It's gonna start a war.
Close up the mouth.
Is this a game or is it real?
War Games, playing soon at a theater near you.
Another dated movie, but one that just gets better with time.
This aged like fine wine. This should be like required viewing for the Department of Defense.
This should be required viewing for everyone on Earth.
Yeah,
if they're expected to live in a society in which decisions are handed over to AI.
Yeah. War Games with Matthew Broderick playing a nerdy hacker kid that accidentally hacks into the government's database and activates a war game with an AI computer that actually wants to destroy the world with nukes. So, very realistic movie. This could happen in real life.
I'm almost scared to say too much about this movie because, like, practically everything that happened, plot-wise or even decision-wise, in regards to the war game computer that you mentioned him activating, or the government's response, I thought it was all perfect. It was all done pretty much exactly as you would imagine it would be if government were staffed by competent people, which it's not right now. Which is why this sort of movie should be viewing, Matt. Like,
I think this movie should be remade. I think they should do a remake of this movie.
About how they would like bungle the themes in a remake.
Oh, make it more like, AI technology is actually good. It was just this one computer that was a bad actor. Yeah, okay, yeah,
the
I
bad
see
apple,
that. Yeah.
They would ruin it like they
the
ruined
bad Apple computer spoils the whole server.
Apple computer?
Yeah.
Apple computers cannot be bad, though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's actually in their contract that if Apple devices are in a movie, they cannot be used by the bad guy.
Whoa.
Yeah, so there you
go. Is that real?
That's real.
Oh my god.
Yep. So if you're ever watching a movie and you see a character using an Apple device, they're not the bad guy. Spoilers. But yeah, War Games. I like the line on the poster here. Is it a game
or is it real?
Real. Yeah, I loved it, and like I know a lot of folks who were around for this era of hacking, lackadaisical hacking, as it were.
The big wires and
everything made out of buttons and wires.
Equipment
the phone,
and the big machines,
the dial-in,
the dial phone, the dial-up internet. Oh
like I know a lot of people who are very reminiscent of these sorts of days, but like wow, like there was just no external security. Sure, I know it's a movie and just gets into the system, but that's what happens every single time a new system is created and put in haphazardly without the full architect's knowledge or
Yep.
know-how is all the back doors remain, and then there's people who are probably smarter than the majority of the idiots in government who are like, I found the exploits. I know where it is.
Yeah, I know where it is.
So yeah, I mean, it's hard to even know what to say.
If there's anything history's taught me is that it is very easy to hack into the government if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if Matthew Broderick can do it.
Fuck yeah, right?
And it was interesting seeing him so young here. Another random thing, I don't want to spoil anything about this movie too, was there were at least 2 really weird out of pocket moments that keep, like, the film has already such a compelling premise, really great story beats, and like the frustration the audience feels on behalf of Broderick's character as he's trying like to get these idiots in government to like pay attention and listen, or realize that it's a simulation and not real. But there's a couple, like, I wouldn't even call them jokes. Like, they're not like set up and punchline like verbally, but there's visual humor in this movie that is so out of left field, out of pocket, and you'll be like rolling laughing, and then you'll be like, oh shit, we're back, and now it's funny, and now it's serious again.
Oh my god.
So yeah, like tonally it was funny, and it wasn't jarring. It was just like just small bits of levity. Maybe you could boil it down to like middle America suburban quirks, and that's where those moments came from, but they were just funny.
Yeah,
I enjoyed them, and that kept the movie highly rated.
Thoroughly enjoyable movie.
Yes, watch it right now, and make everyone in your life watch this if they have not seen it.
And I'm gonna be 40!
When?
Someday!
In 8 years.
Keeping it in the 80s.
Oh yes.
I think 89 was when this one came out.
Yeah, we watched When Harry Met Sally with
Rob Reiner film.
Yeah, Rob Reiner rom-com
written by Nora Ephron.
Yeah, I don't like his schmaltzy rom-com movies all that much.
Especially
when they have fucking Billy Crystal in them.
I don't have a big catalog of rom-com experience in my life, so I can see that there were a lot of like things that would later kind of become tropes in this movie, though unfortunately a lot of stuff in this movie made me think of another rom-com that I had seen that is significantly better in my opinion, and that would be Annie Hall.
Oh yes, Annie Hall.
So like When Harry Met Sally was good, but it's no Annie Hall. Yeah. That's really all I gotta say.
When fucking Woody Allen has more charisma than you know you fucked up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And is funnier.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't like Billy Crystal. I think he's creepy and not funny. And
well, your mom said
non-charismatic. Yeah, she finds him fucking funny and handsome and charming. So I guess 80s chicks just loved this kind of guy.
Yeah.
Kind of scumbag.
Yeah, there were 2 kinds of men in the 80s. Billy Crystal and Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, Meg Ryan, super smoking hot.
Yeah, she's
though.
so attractive.
Very pretty.
She's got those beautiful like emerald green eyes and that nice
total
blonde
smoke
hair.
show.
Oh yeah. And then you got
she
Billy
acted
Crystal.
very, very well in this too. I think. I think her range was incredible.
She's acting opposite this schlub right here.
Sponge of charisma.
Yeah, right.
He just sucks it out of everyone around him.
Yeah.
He just like quips dryly.
Hey, men and women are so different in equal ways. Men, they want to have sex with their women friends. Isn't that crazy? I want to have sex with you, but I can't.
I kind of
so we can't be friends.
I felt like I was like he argued like my brother, my younger brother,
yeah,
who has some
just
serious
like your brother.
like problems in his
some
like,
serious
thinking.
hookups about hookups.
Yeah, and just his perception of women. I don't want to say like because for the time obviously, but he would have had to have come up with all these ideas himself. But boy, does it sound like someone who is like in the manosphere.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, he would make a lot of money if he had a podcast nowadays.
Yeah.
This character.
So yeah, When Harry Met Sally was fine, and I disagree with the people on Letterboxd who said it is 1 point better than Annie Hall. Annie Hall is
Annie Hall is better.
Billion times the movie this is.
The lead in that movie is more problematic, but I like in real life, but I like him better than Billy Crystal in this movie.
It's about what they are able to put forward on screen.
Exactly.
So like I don't know if Annie Hall had Meg Ryan, it would be just a knock it out of the
park.
park.
Honestly, yeah.
But I mean, you know, the woman that was in that movie, forget her name, she just passed away like last year. Also very iconic.
Meg Ryan would have been too young to be in Annie Hall, but probably not young enough too young for Woody Allen.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
what a tough slot to be in.
Bazinga.
Wow. Yeah, so I mean, watch the movie if you want to know what Meg Ryan looked like when she was hot, but don't watch the movie if you hate Billy Crystal.
Yeah, that was a fatal mistake on my part.
It was funny because I gave you the choice, right?
Yeah, what was the other one? It was Bucket List. We were going to watch either this or Bucket List.
Yeah, a Rob Reiner film, and it was like, well, you got your choice.
Literally, the only reason I picked this one is because it's from the 80s. That's the only reason. I completely forgot Billy Crystal was in this.
Is the lead.
And as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh no, I made a terrible mistake.
Also, this poster is macro.
Yeah.
Why? It's just like the Crocodile Dundee poster. I didn't mean for it to have this in common, but why the New York,
New York?
Why another macro New York poster?
Yeah. Giant person in New York. Look how fucking big
they're
is.
Huge. That's
you could see them from space.
Actually,
god damn,
gonna run out of oxygen.
Yeah, you're gonna pass the fuck out and crush a bunch of people when you fall.
I'd watch that movie.
Where's this going?
It's been a very strange day.
Getting stranger.
Now this movie, I really don't know what to say about this one, because this movie is infamously hard to understand.
Yeah, I did a little bit of the reading into what it's supposed to all mean after, and it did kind of make me be like, oh, well, now I feel obliged to watch it again. But I also
this is one of those movies that benefits from a rewatch.
I would have to wait some time to watch this one again.
Because it's off of Amazon Prime now. It's leaving
it's
soon.
gone.
So, we'll have to find another way to watch it. But we watched David Lynch's Mulholland Drive from 2001.
The breakthrough film for Naomi Watts.
Yeah, very cryptic, very bizarre movie. If you know David Lynch movies, you know that this is kind of just his MO.
I had never seen a Lynch film.
Yeah, I've seen several of his movies, and he operates on a very dreamlike kind of logic. Even his most sound movies that take place in reality, quote unquote, have a very surreal.
Well, this is supposedly
tone to them.
In reality as well. I don't have a whole lot to say. It had a good atmosphere. I wouldn't call it a horror film. It was a thriller for sure.
It's got horror elements to it.
Yeah, there are some horror elements, but it is a bit more of a thriller. Not really a supernatural element to it either. It's kind of more just like a mystery that you are supposed to unravel as the viewer, and I think that's...
And they don't solve it for you.
No,
they leave it to you.
Also will not solve it for you.
Yeah, he has refused to elaborate on what the fuck the movie actually means.
Yeah, and now he definitely won't tell you what it means.
But there is some things that I can summarize. There's this young girl who wants to be an actress, and she signs up with this agency, this talent agency, and she befriends this other woman who was in a car accident, and she has amnesia, and she was also an actress that signed up for the same agency, coincidentally. By pure stroke of coincidence, they meet up together and try to solve the mystery of why this woman has amnesia, and they unravel a bunch of crazy plot threads, and then it starts to take a dive into the weird, surreal shit, and
not into a crash, just
it's not bad. This is a really good movie. This is a very good movie. It's a very intriguing mystery, and it makes you want to know what happens. You want to watch it again and figure out what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, as someone who's never seen another Lynch film or Eyes Wide Shut, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed myself. If you think this is weird, fucking Inland Empire would blow your fucking mind. That's a weird movie.
Be kind of dope, right?
And
all right,
last but not least, or maybe least, I don't know. I guess is it the worst of the movies we talked about today?
I would say
I kind of had.
I actually would say no.
I know. I don't want to say
because I like the premise of this movie way more than Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, I had more fun with it than Harry Met Sally.
The problem is, it's directed by M. Night Shyamalan and written by him too. So
both. It's funny that both of these films had dialogue issues.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So,
but the acting was never the problem. I actually really dug Josh Hartnett.
Yeah. It's about a serial killer who takes his daughter to a pop concert, and there's a police presence all over the venue because they found out that the serial killer is going to be there, and so he has to find a way to get out of the venue before he's found out.
I wasn't sure how much they would hide the premise of that. I can see the poster now.
Yeah, well, it turns out that that's not really the twist of the movie. There's an actual twist later on.
There is an actual
which was
twist.
Okay, Shyamalan, I'll give you that. That was very clever.
It was good.
That was very clever, and the whole premise in itself is a very cool premise.
And I think we had our guard down because we thought we knew what the twist was, which was nice. For once.
Yeah.
And it wasn't dumb.
Yeah. But the problem is just all the same problems that every Shyamalan movie has. Horrible dialogue that no real person would actually say. Very pretentious dialogue. Shyamalan putting himself into the movie so that he can hear his characters say his dialogue back at him, because it's just the greatest thing ever written. And really weird like camera choices and cinematography that doesn't actually
shot on
make
film.
I couldn't have noticed
for no reason.
Yeah, obviously they ran it through like a digital program and like digitally edited it, so it
reminds
me
me
of point.
Reminds me of when they did all the hype about Jurassic World being shot on film, and then it's like, well, you just put it in the computer and added CG dinosaurs anyway, so like what does it matter?
Yeah, like what's the point of shooting on film if you're just going to run the footage through Adobe Premiere Pro and digitize everything anyway? It doesn't fucking matter. But good movie-ish, but just it should have just been given to a different director. He should have gotten a story credit. It should have been story by M. Night Shyamalan. And then he can get co-screenwriter credit if he really wants to. But yeah, every single one of his movies, even the good ones, have horrible dialogue, except The Sixth Sense. But I'm convinced that The Sixth Sense had a script doctor. Because
it's
his first movie. You know, they're taking a chance on this new guy. They probably had a script doctor breathing down his neck, crossing out all of the really pretentious dialogue.
But now
he
doesn't have to go through anyway.
Yeah, he's his own main man.
The only thing he has to do is
wants.
secure the check, the blank check, and then he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was thinking about what you said.
Better than The Visit, that's for sure.
Yes, definitely better than The Visit. I was thinking about what you said about, like, a different director. And honestly, I don't know if it's maybe it's an M. Night thing, but I would worry about another director trying to make the dad too likable. I think M. Night's inability to sort of, I guess,
write real characters.
There is an actual wall between like the audience and this guy. And maybe it's just that we implicitly don't trust him because we go in under
because we know early on
we know
he's the killer. Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. Maybe there is something with the stiltedness that Shyamalan can get out of the actors that work with him that I felt like kind of lent itself nicely to at least the main character, because again, like you said, the writing continues to be a problem, but I also had an issue with the characterization of basically everyone else in the film. M. Night can't write minorities or women. It's the same problem that Christopher Nolan has, because all the women in the movie are basically incompetent except for his daughter.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the nepotism angle.
Daughter gets to play a pop star.
Yeah, the concert they're going to, M. Night Shyamalan's daughter plays the pop singer that they're going to see. And remember I said that he inserts himself into every movie he's in? He inserts himself as like a tour manager. He's the uncle of the pop star. And this serial killer guy is just like glazing his daughter, being like, oh, she's so talented. She's so beautiful. She's such a great star. Man, you're so lucky to be related to her. She's so talented and great.
Well, I mean,
and she sings good too.
There were plot reasons for that.
Yeah, but
yes,
like,
I know. But it's hokey for him to put himself in the role of the uncle. Now you put the clip from Spy Kids of Cheech.
I'm not your uncle.
Because he's her actual father.
Yeah.
If you're the actual father, I think it's silly for you to put yourself in the movie that you wrote and then make yourself the uncle, just so that you create one more line of like,
I'm not the dad in the movie.
Separation.
Yeah, see, I made myself the uncle, not the father, so it's less blatant nepotism.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was a dumb decision that doesn't improve on that story decision at all.
It definitely pissed me off more.
Given the premise we just explained, that this concert venue is locked down, big police presence and stuff, it would have been really nice to see a dynamic with the head of police, the FBI profiler lady that they had, but she doesn't get any characterization at all. Like the only time she gets interesting is when our lead here sort of like taps into her conversation and we can hear her, and then he gets to work around what she's saying.
Yeah.
But there is virtually no interaction between the two. Like I saw people saying like, oh, it could have been a good cat and mouse type of movie, and I haven't seen movies like Catch Me If You Can. You know, that's
it's not really cat and mouse. It's more just like rat caught in a maze.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of.
And that I think is maybe why, like, yeah, you don't have to create this like grand overseer role for your FBI profile character to fill, but it would be nice if like she just had any kind of a stake in the story at all.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't just there for this job to find this guy. Like we are told in the movie that they had like a meeting with all the staff of the venue beforehand. Not to, give M. Night ideas, script doctor, the guy who clearly needs no help.
Yeah, right.
But I think it would have been cool to cold open on that meeting with no explanation, no picture. They don't know what he looks like. But like, imagine the room with all the venue staff and her at the front, camera pulling in slowly as she's like talking about like, we believe that this guy is like 6 foot, white male, middle-aged,
and then it cuts to the dad.
And then it hard cuts to him.
Yeah.
That would actually have been not just a great way to characterize her or give her some sort of like reason for the audience to give a crap about either just like maybe her job's on the line. I don't know, anything, but like something like that. Like the way that the movie opens, like we're literally just dropped into the maze, which can be cool. But then again, it's like, I really wish that had been given to a better director, because that opening that I just came up with on the fly here, I think
better than how the movie actually
adds
opens.
A lot.
Yes. Oh, yes.
A lot. So yeah, there you go. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't exceptional.
I didn't care for it.
It wasn't Obsession, and it wasn't Backrooms.
Still the best Shyamalan movie I've seen since like The Village, I'd say.
Yeah.
There's a couple of his that I haven't seen. I haven't seen that beach one where they all grow old. I haven't seen that. It's just called Old.
It's just called Old.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
M. Night Shyamalan really took the one-word title thing to heart
Yeah,
when
right?
that craze became a thing.
Yeah.
He didn't even put the in front of it. Right? No,
The Old.
The Visit is the only one that has that.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
Trap.
Yeah, best Shyamalan movie since The Village.
I would agree.
The shitty dialogue actually works in that movie because it's supposed to be like 18 something.
And it is
whatever.
farcical. The entire premise, like spoilers for The Village, I guess, but like it's a sham basically. It's like a constructed world.
Yeah,
basically.
they're all like
It's
Amish
fictional.
basically.
So it kind of makes sense that the dialogue is weirdly like not like foreign, but in a way where it's like people who have been like just kind of reading and consuming specific sorts of material that were probably written by the same sorts of people for their entire life. So they're probably going to sound a certain way. But in this one, yeah, like it would have been nice to see someone with a brain other than M. Night's daughter.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fine. It was relatively
yeah,
harmless.
you can give it a watch, see what you think.
Yeah, watch it with
very on
friends,
the
not
fence.
alone.
I think I gave this like a 2.5 on Letterboxd, so it's like right in the middle for me.
Yeah,
Good premise.
I think I went 3.
Good premise, shitty Shyamalan-esque execution.
I think I only went 3 because there were like a few parts where I actually laughed or I had hope that like, oh, something's gonna happen here. Anywho,
yep, there we go.
Another show has concluded. Basically, how are y'all doing? We didn't really lead the show by engaging with the audience a ton, but it is very hot. It is super hot right
Very
now.
warm.
It is the middle of summer. The solstice has came and went, so we are starting to see the days shorten now, but the heat has only increased. It's like 35 degrees out there.
We got to
right
get down
now.
to the river.
That's still why I'm shirtless.
Oh
yeah, the river.
Yeah,
the
we should
river.
do that.
So
Sometime
yeah.
next week, maybe.
Yeah, I'll pencil you in. I'll check my schedule.
Put that in
my people
calendar.
will call your people.
Yeah, we'll arrange a meeting.
And what is there to look forward to besides no housing, no civilian defense force, and no funding to the citizens of Canada?
And no forests because they all burned down.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. I mean, I would hope that the natives will heed my advice and maybe rise up finally. I would welcome that, but
Time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what else is going on. Congrats to FIFA for winning, or not FIFA. Congrats to Spain for winning the FIFA World Cup.
Congrats to FIFA for winning Spain.
Yeah, congrats. Yeah, and good that Messi got beat, Argentina lost. And that's all I got to say
Yay.
about that. As a half Mexican, it sucks to ever have to root for Spain for anything, but I will if I have to, especially against Argentina.
You got some Spaniard in you somewhere.
Yeah, I do, but it doesn't mean I like them. They should give us reparations.
Exactly.
For all their raping and pillaging. I don't know. Anything else? What can you think of? Anything on the horizon? Oh, the Odyssey is out. I don't know.
People are
how
complaining about that.
Soon that'll be on our docket for watching, but
I don't know. We gotta go to the IMAX theater to get the full experience.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh.
The theater near us has LIMAX, which is the laser projection IMAX, which is not film, but the IMAX projectors are apparently like spontaneously combusting because they were never designed for a 3-hour film.
Because the movie's too long.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you were saying like there's a lot of people online that are saying that there's like a class war to see the IMAX.
Yeah,
film.
because you can only see it in the IMAX theaters, like the full aspect ratio that Christopher Nolan intended.
And I've seen that those cropping images. It's brutal, but I would say that it maybe it's giving less class warfare, and maybe Nolan's finally just trying to kill IMAX for good.
Maybe.
He's just decided, I'm done with this.
But IMAX has been his best friend over the years.
But this is the first time he shot the full film on IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, because all of his movies, they would like randomly cut to IMAX. Like the aspect ratio would just randomly change.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
So this is.
Well, at least now he's being
trying
consistent.
to send it down the river with a proper film. I think he's learned that the IMAX technology is like a thing of the past. If you thought all of the modern amenities slowly crumbling as the architects and designers withered and died off was bad, IMAX is suffering the same thing.
Yep.
And it's a Canadian invented technology, so it's just an apt metaphor for the state of our failing nation.
Yay.
Yay.
Hooray.
Really, if you think about it, that's the most woke perspective. That Canada has not, will not, and can never be great while liberals are in charge.
Yeah.
So.
Or conservatives.
Yeah.
Careful when you say that, because whenever you say, oh, the liberals can't be in charge, people automatically assume, oh, you must be a conservative supporter, right?
Yeah.
The loony liberals.
Well, everyone just assumes that if you don't like the conservatives, you're a liberal supporter anyway, which is the most tedious.
Yeah. Because milquetoast center-left liberalism is real leftism, as we all know.
Fence-sitting centrism is useless.
That's leftism.
So, I don't know, y'all. Have a good summer. Get out to some protests.
And
the sun.
Yeah.
Don't protest the sun.
No. Protest not using the sun.
Yeah, protest Carney, protest fossil fuels, protest Israel, protest Palantir, which we didn't talk about this week, but they're still evil, in case you needed a reminder.
Yep.
Protest Microsoft. It's still an election year. If you live in BC, run for your local municipal office or school board. Let's lower the average age across the province for these elected positions.
Absolutely.
My dad just announced that he's going to seek re-election to my hometown city council.
Best of luck to him.
Yeah, I don't know if all the luck in the world will help him, but we will see. So yeah, this is another episode. I don't even know what number, but we're bidding
26.
adieu. 26. Whoa, 26.
We made it.
It's almost as old as me.